blessings of mine. Who am I? Today the scribe, been forever, but the name changes with the times. I come from a place where space is home. I go into realms where your face is gone. A change gon' come. As a teen, hypnotized deep in a sleep, party and slumber. 11 life path number, a life of death that's rebirth. Recall realities to reemerge. Soul purge. I'll lend you frequency like loan words. Before I teach, I'll spit a poem first. Step on stage, set the stage, car walking, set ablaze, divine fire. The body is divine attire, sewn from words, sound frequency, awakening dreams. Don't pinch me every day I wake up, it's a home birth. Start from zero to become the heroes. Cycles of time causes expansion of mind. Potential is exponential. Gain XP, what your power made of. I've had to face self, face to fate, a double fate. What will I make of the present? I'm just trying to pet heaven. Twice great, 2 arms up is none to wave. It's nothing to wave. God separate the waters from the waters. Genesis 1 and 6. See, that source is thousands of years prior to a Bible even existing. It's called the pet, word for heaven. Watchers of noon, primordial, pre-ordered, bringing order in order. Its law the scales will represent. A double gift, re-present, Ray is present. Ra, amen to the God inside. The crown will glow as consciousness grows. So what assignment are you on? Doubles. Bodies from walking. I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By a step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemes, Corona shining. I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By a step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemes, Corona shining. Serpent mind winding in alignment. Straight from Orion, the origins. Dig into the root, Kim originals, the oracle speaking. Your aura is gleaming. The sons of God, Amen, Ra. Who can't afford a reason to fall below your own means, meaning reaching beyond the firmament ceiling. I see linguistics tricking us deep into sleeping. The way we live inception, I must be dreaming. Doubles, double L, square root, mirrors, reverse the image. My grip is slipping. Almost forgot the point of the mission. Statement, point out all the contradictions. Blatant, truth lives where my eye is foundation. Yeah. Co-founded a nation. Dictionary, study, spells can be scary. Etymology, this here is completion. Cycle circles, dualism wisdom. I peddle flowers. 2 eyes are watching to see through the double realm I'm healing. Never out of what's within him. Infinite reasons, just like my brother Arcad. Always remain calm against demons. Death culture, to be alive here, it's a lie here. They crossed us into thinking that death isn't living. The lies are falling through my palms, arm wide, holes in my hand. The Pope's in command, I demand the throne back. Ancient teachings, I'm a throwback. Picture that, see this moment here is Kodak. So black, I see through lies. Why they hold that? Ocean motions, I'm flowing through noon in the boats of consciousness. My tongue is rolling, planting seeds, sowing. Neo speaking, untangled quantum DNA, spitting frequencies. I hear Christians scream hallelujah, and this ain't that the name of God is God. I must bring the order back, the scales are tipping. In the court of Allah, moonshine, Tehuti is Yah. This here is Ptah, bulldozing, the one chosen. Focus, when the light hits you, just open like lotus. Melt your mind when in mind time is frozen. Blow minds, my mind is golden. Coat me in gold, I've got a gold coat round me like I'm Tutankhamun. Like his when you spell my name, put 3 lines in. Scribe, presenting the law's findings. Who's he? I me, an echo of Tehuti. Yes, I do my best to do my best. Lead with the left, heart out my chest. By step out of the flesh. On my crown is the Nemes, Corona shining. We do our best to do our best.
this is the whole purpose of actually doing the Menetta class on the Purim Haru, was to get everybody in the mind state of Hika, because the Purim Haru is a book of Hika. It's a book of magic. It's a book of immortality, out-of-body experiences. It's a book of several spells. It is all about the other realm and its connection to this realm and how you can merge the two. So I just never allowed the questions of actual ritual or magical practice other than the one-on-one.
You'll see it looks like a sieve. Everybody know what a sieve is?
No.
A sieve is like a strainer. You can pour rice on it and only the water will go through, or you separate. It's like a screen. You pour something on it and it separates things. Thinner aspects can go through the K. Today's equivalent is a K or a Q. So we have Kes, which is bone, body, skeleton. The inner part of you that actually produces the blood within the bone marrow. So it's flesh and blood, which is bones, which is the Kes. So here, Kes ties in again is homage. Kes. Whether it's spelled like that or spelled like any of the other 20 ways that the beautiful thing with a man. This came from, and how Venus associates with an actual shining planet, and how that became the Lucifer of Christianity, which is the Luic cipher, the encircled light, which sometimes can be Venus, and sometimes can be. The Kenti was the royal area of the beginnings. That's where the modern day Greek historians say that men came. That when they went and talked to the so-called Ethiopians, they said that that Kemet was an area reestablished.
There is no spoon.
SCRIIIBE Sessions Volume 1. For the record. Open your eye in alignment with time and you'll see the truth like it's a physical thing. From the darkness I arise, so it's not a surprise when you learn of the light that I bring. As above, so below, I find a rhythm and flow as I grow with the pendulum swing. This is the matrix where everyone's faking they sleep here in life while we wake up in dreams. Shedding the skin like a serpent, this work makes it worth it. Attaining a purpose while searching internal, examine what all is in me. Most will not make it there, so can I take it? Reality shaking, you've seen what I've seen. Reap what you sow, with the weavers of speech, achievers, and this is the read 'em and weed 'em. You cannot read them, vibrations that none of them speak. Walk a metal netter, light is feather, is heavy to learn that your will isn't free. Natural willing, I continue to lead with my evils. I'm sweeping my consciousness clean. Training in realms that are unseen, my aura is some set fire to all of the fiends. Stand on my ATEF is all seeing, I we supply 93, that means we are supreme. Healing through tones on my senses, connecting in this year. Wealthy is health, this is green. This is illusion, reality veiled in delusion. Thoughts become intrusive, it's foolish to not know by now that it ain't what it seems. This is way more than belief. I see clearly the lies. My six senses of sight are hypnotized. No wonder everyone sleeps. It's time to set off the alarms. The performance self-harm. Don't you know you're a star? God in human form and you rise with the beast. More than man. Bread in my hand, that's the water hand. Heard what I said, will live in the man. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. We ain't the same man. Record keeper. Seeing the state of the planet, the damage, the famines expanding beyond your belief. I see they landed, they've handed the people a cannon and aiming it right at your feet. Blowing a hole where you're standing, creating the panic. The tactical planning is deep. Teaching you're only a man and that God is in heaven, the seventh outside of your reach. If you're the question, they'll call you a manic, frantic, erratic, depression, demonic. When you're teaching through the magical speech, they'll call you serpent, the one in the garden. Pardon my knowledge for having the knowledge and prowess to see. He really told the truth to Adam and Eve. You'll have to think between good and evil if you eat of the fruit of the tree. Now you're a god, open your eye, cleansing yourself so that now you can see. They stole the stories and twisted them like it's a spliff. They put the fire to leaves, I put the fire to speech. I put the fire to heat. We don't do liars and thieves, they just desire to greed. This is my record to keep, this is my throne. You cannot sit in my seat, and I command it. I give more than 10 commandments. This is the law of attraction, and we have infinite stamina. My stage is where I'm standing. This is my eye, God is in me. I only keep goddesses with me. They are the magical beings, they are the holy ones, birthing the gods. We're overcoming the odds. We are the even and odd. They're in the odds, we're in the awe. Ancestors answer my prayers, forever grateful. I will forever say thank you. Inspiration to awake the sleepers. Record keeper, more than man. Bread in my hand, that's the Lord in hand. Heard what I say, Lord, live in the man. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. We ain't the same man. Record keeper, more than man. Bread in my hand, that's the Lord in hand. Heard what I say, Lord, live in the man. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. We ain't the same man. Record keeper.
You and your family health and prosperity. May your monument be established on the foundations of Maat, and may you rise and come forth as conscious light, like the divine Ra, who rise and shine forever on Maat.
I look outside in awe, I see our people double-minded. People meaning creature, don't ignore the signage. Voices lead, don't fly in silence. Observation with my eye open eyelid. Look outside in awe, I see our people double-minded. People meaning creature, don't ignore the signage. Voices lead, though flying silent. Observation with my eye open eyelid. I am him, king, crown, rings, Nesu, I am in mindset of when fighting jinns, sword, swang, samurai, I am Shem, Su, Hor, son of Heru, I am him, king, crown, rings, Nesu, I am in mindset of when fighting jinns, sword, swang, samurai, I am Shem, Su, Hor, son of Heru, words powerful, Hekau, see, prove, you can feel the roots, gone, just look up, I am proof, breaking doors down, make some room, but I is now speaking through me and trust me.
HOTEP.
HOTEP, peace and love.
HOTEP, peace and love, great brothers. How's my sound?
You sound good. It sounds a little low, but you sound
a little
good.
Low. HOTEP, peace and love, everybody. Welcome to the House of Aten Study Guide Sunday. Ancient Tehuti and Teachings of the Natiru presents the Enuma Elish, Ancient Sumerian Literature by the great ANTU. We have a special guest today. Before I introduce the brothers on the panel, we will begin as we do every week with our beautiful affirmation. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Unki and Maat, Un and S, Nintet or Set and Maat, Minhepapet and Maat, Her in Hu Kui, Per Ikut. I live for Maat. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Maat. Every day I advance towards Maat. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. HOTEP, welcome to a beautiful, beautiful show today. I am the great ATEF Remkem Maat. I am the esteemed steward of the venerable house of Aten. As a devoted disciple of the master teacher, the illustrious Tehuti Amenhotep Ra, I proudly undertake the role of the sagacious host for the weekly gathering within the sacred halls of the house of Aten. Here we delve into the profound teachings that illuminate the path to Maat. In the sacred sanctuary of the house of Aten, I guide fellow seekers on a journey of enlightenment and understanding. Drawing from the wellspring of ancient wisdom, our gatherings are profound explorations into the depths of truth, meticulously deciphered through the lens of ancestral artifacts and profound teachings bestowed upon us by the great Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. My commitment to the pursuit of wisdom extends beyond the confines of our weekly gatherings. As a true-hearted devotee of truth, I strive to embody the essence of Maat in all aspects of life, expressing unwavering love for my people. My soul resonates with the harmonious frequencies of the Medu Neter. I stand as a loyal guardian of Maat, steadfastly defending the sacred principles that govern our existence within the house of Aten. Next, we have the mighty scribe, Ptah Aten Tehuti. Ptah Aten Tehuti is a representative of the Natiru. He has been searching for the source since a young man and is now founded with Maat and the guidance of Saba Tehuti, who gave him his name to be a reflection of him as Aten Tehuti. As he continues to dig and implement his studies to create the highest quality of presentations with factual information to teach his people, he also creates sound vibrational tones to heal the soul and break the spells of negative hypnosis. He uses sound vibration and conscious thought to recreate the mindset of the Natiru. And last but not least, we have the mighty Menkhu Meri Maat, is a student of the master teacher Saba Tehuti Amenhotep Ra and a follower of Maat. Menkhu is the Heb, the festivities organizer in the house of Aten, cultural enlightenment advisor and teacher, the developer of the Pathways to Awakening, a director, producer of documentaries, researcher of ancient civilizations, and a researcher of knowledge of spells. Welcome everybody to the house of Aten Study Guide Sundays.
Peace, peace.
Yes, peace and HOTEP, everyone. Welcome to the house of Aten. The ancient Tehutian teachings. Like, look like that. Oh, that's hilarious. The ancient Tehutian teachings of Natiru. Yes, this is beautiful. What's up, Menkhu?
Peace, great brothers. Peace.
The hacker is everywhere. I do not know what's happening today. Like Saba said, it was daylight savings time. I was like, not where I'm at. We got a meeting, and boom, my clocks is bugging. Yo, the tones in the intro. Yo, I need pulling out visual tricks. I'm just trying to adjust to all the hecker.
Beautiful, beautiful, great brother. Welcome everybody in the chat. We have a beautiful show today. We are doing something different, something special today. We have a wonderful guest. He'll do his own introduction. I meant to get with him to have me send him something so I could read along with us on the panel. But when he comes up, we'll allow him to do an introduction. So definitely looking forward to that. Welcome, great brothers. How y'all feeling? Daylight saving time is yeah, it's playing tricks with me too, brother.
Yes, feeling excellent, feeling great. Everything is happening in such a beautiful motion and pace. Henu to the great brothers here, who you see building this here, this house, and the Henu to the great Saba Tehuti for being who he is and doing what he does, and for that wonderful Nefer pod class last night. There was a lot of Heka'u. I had been working on a class that I posted here on the House of Aten for the video, the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, what Cat Williams really meant to say. And me and Saba Tehuti didn't have any communication about that happening. But this is how the Heka'u works, and the frequencies and the thoughts, how we're connected in the way that we are, and the great brothers and the wonderful sisters, and how everything happens, and the Heka'u that happens, we learn about in the group meetings that we have, in the Discord meetings. It's all Nefer. So it's just a beautiful thing to be a part of such high level pure magic and consciousness and purity. So yes, we are here, and we have a wonderful Kur which is a member of the House of Aten, who is going to be reading the Enuma Elish, and he will also be given a class on Tuesday. So we'll also be posting that as well. And we have none other than the great brother who has been extremely consistent, an extreme high level supporter for the House of Aten and for Saba Tehuti in the pod class, for leading by example in the way that he is doing. Let's give a round of applause and a hinu to the great brother, Anu. Yes, Hotep, great brother. Welcome to the panel. Welcome here. How are you feeling? Let the people know. Let the people know what's on your Eve, great brother. Peace.
Hotep, good brother. I'm doing beautiful. I'm very excited to have this reading today. I feel like it's very important. This is a very impactful story. I feel blessed to be able to be a part of the House of Aten and to be able to come here on the panel, be the first Cur to come and do a reading, and as well have a class, which is coming up this Tuesday. I'm blessed to be here. The Neter, the Anunnaki guide me. I am very happy and fortunate and blessed to have brothers like you and also have relatives in the chat as well. And I'm very thankful for the Saba Tehuti for creating a family and expanding the family as the days go on and as the years go on. And it's an absolutely immaculate thing. It's something that I've wished for ever since I was young. Ever since I was young, I've had the idea that I am a spirit that has come to this planet and that there are other spirits like me who have come here, and that I knew that I just had to find them in order to reintegrate myself with them and they reintegrate themselves with I, and we rebuild something that was similar to the past. I've always had this idea since I was young, and it's coming true. So that's absolutely beautiful. And I'm very happy to see what the future holds minute by minute.
Wonderful. Yes, to our good brother for coming up and bringing forth the your ability to be able to hear a call and answer to it. So to for coming up here, and definitely looking forward to this reading that you are bringing forth. So everyone, make sure that you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this out to your platforms. We appreciate each and every one of you. Let's give some comments to Seshait. She says, Hotep family. Hotep to you, Seshait, a wonderful Cur of the House of Aten. We appreciate your presence. Anu and Antu, Tua, Karu, Per Aten, Hinu Nek, Auk Mu, or Tua, Auk Mu Seku, Tua household members within HOA. Sing hymns of praise to you as the stars which never rest. Praise you, the stars that never set, with a black heart. Nefer, Tua Antu, one of the Nefer social media managers for the House of Aten, doing phenomenal work, putting together these videos for the social media platform. So wonderful job, Antu, and all the work that you're doing. Kenneth Cotton says, Hotep, peace and blessings. Peace to you, Kenneth Cotton, who is one of the YouTube members, and that's why you see his name in green. And it's another way to support the House of Aten. So all you do is just hit the join button right next to the subscribe button where it says join right there. And if you don't see that button, you can go in the description and it'll say join us. And it'll give you a lot of nice perks. All the detail is there when you hit the join button. So Tua for everyone who's supporting the House of Aten and assisting in our growth. We appreciate all of you. So Tua to you, Kenneth. We have Nook Poo, who says Hotep, Meri, Ku, Karu, Per, Aten, Shimsu, Natiru, Kes, Maat. Nook Poo, Ma'at, Karu, Amun, Ray. Hotep to you, good brother. Nefer tones and energy that you bring forth to the House of Aten. And we appreciate your ability as well to continue to produce those consistently and represent Ma'at. Good brother. Hotep to you. We have MKD Podcast. Hotep Natiru. Hotep MKD. Nefer Keperet is in the building. Hotep Meri Ma'at with a Hindu fist, a crescent moon, a leaf, and a black heart. Hotep. Menkhu Ara says fire tones with a gift box. It isn't presence, it's presence. All right. Next we have Caleb S. Hotep Meri to the House of Aten and to the chat. Looking forward to hear the tones of our brothers in Ma'at. All right. Wonderful. Yes. And Seshai says subscribe, like, comment, and share. All right. So yes, before we let the good brother Anu share his screen and go forth with his reading, I want to run through a couple things here. I want to also make sure you all are following us on Rumble. Make sure you are subscribed to the Rumble channel because YouTube, a lot of times they'll take certain classes down or may have to cut certain things up, and Rumble allows us to keep the full class. So if anything happens to the YouTube, this is the Rumble. This is the account that we'll be using. So everyone make sure that you have access to this account as well. Hotep Hinu to everyone who's watching live on the Rumble, because we stream simultaneously through these two platforms. So peace and love to you all. Also want to give a Nefer shout out to all the great Karu, which is the meta word for household members of the Per Aten, the House of Aten. I host a Wisdom Wednesday class that I pull forth in the Discord. So everyone make sure that you are also following the Discord, which is in the links below. Yeah, join the Discord. We have some, we're going to have a lot to offer you all very soon, more than what we already do. And we're going to continue to grow and expand. So yes, everyone make sure you are in the Discord. And we also want to provide this for our Karu as well. Any business promotion opportunities that you all want to get your products out there or get your businesses out there, or anything you're doing creatively. If you're an artist, you're a poet, if you create and you just want to showcase your skill set, we always encourage anyone who is owning in on any type of talent or skill or learning something to come forward and showcase that. Let everyone see your growth. Let everyone see expressions of your ka, because it's all Nefer. And you know, I look forward to seeing who all take advantage of this opportunity here, and yeah, come forth and you know, have some fun with the lessons, and let everyone see who you are. So Hotep to the Karu, the initiates, the members of the House of Aten. Hotep Ma'at to you all. If you all want to support the House of Aten, we are a movement expanding into a nation, and so everyone has a position to play, and everyone here who is with us live in the chat does beautifully with that, and we appreciate each and every one of you who take on that responsibility and assist us in expanding and pushing out the teachings of the Natiru to the masses of the people. So it's a very honorable thing to be a part of and to do. So Hotep and Hinu to all of the great Meru, which are the supporters and the partisans of the House of Aten. Here are our links if you want to support us. And I'll also let me go ahead and post these links in the chat for you all to have access to. and let me pin them to the top. Okay, so that way you all have them if you want to support us. Okay, here, let me put this here. All right, there it is, live in the chat. And then let me pin them to the top. And I'll also have the banner scrolling across the bottom, so we can always be reminded that this is Maat, and reciprocity is extremely important when it comes to Maat and keeping our scales balanced. So, and I'll go ahead and I'll show some of the support that we received prior to coming live here with you all, and show those who support throughout the week, and those who are watching the class and appreciate a specific part of the class and say, hey, I want to support that. I learned something new. Okay, so let me share the screen. And first we'll start with Big Vapes, who sends in $10 for March membership fee from Ptah Bull Damo. Atef, you have your sounds, good brother?
Yeah, can you hear it?
No, we can't hear them.
Can you hear it?
No, we can't hear your sounds. I'll give it. All right, to our Big Vapes, very consistent. We appreciate you. Looking forward to speaking with you in the next Discord meeting. I know you said you'll be able to make it to the next one, so I look forward to hearing your tones, good brother. All right, next we have Nookpoo, who sends in 333 for Henu Karu per Aten, Shimsu Natiru Hotep Meri Ku Maat.
There no sounds?
No, we don't hear your sounds.
I don't know. I probably gotta go out and come back in. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. All right, to our Nookpoo. Another very consistent brother here that loves Maat and produces the tones, which is important in today's time with all of the ISFET frequencies that everyone speaks. So with just a few of us, we're able to balance out so much of the ISFET because of the essence and the power that the tones that we bring represent that. So to our Nookpoo for your support. All right, next we have SHERE, who sends in $15 for Tuat Ishin. Another wonderful Kerr of the Kerru, the House of Aten, very consistent, and we love the consistency that all of the great members showcase. It's a beautiful thing to be in the midst of such high level Kas and Bas, and to be building something so sound all together with you all. So SHERE is a great representation of that, and so she sent in that sometime during the week, and she also sends in $20 today for membership fees. Yeah, so thank you, SHERE, and also for your. I love how you switched up the national anthem to the Maat anthem and did that live for us all. That was great in the pod class. So to our sister for everything that you are bringing forth. All right, next we have the great brother Ops Effect, the calm one with the axe, who sent 1872 for Tua, Nefer, Senu, Per, Aten. Oh, there we go. They're working now. All right. Hotep Henu, Ox Effect. A wonderful, very consistent brother. Very Nefer Aku. We appreciate you, Ox Effect. So Tua and Henu to you. All right. And I think we have one more to show. Yes. All right. Let me share the screen. And all right. So next we have Lisa, Queen Lisa 14, who sends in $31 for today's class. All right, Tua, Lisa, we appreciate that.
You see, that's how it's done.
Yes, we appreciate your support. You've become extremely consistent and also very active in the chat as well. So we love to see the participation that everyone gives. So Tua, Henu, Lisa, for supporting the House of Aten and for your frequency that you bring forth. All right. Let me stop sharing here. All right. Okay, yes. So we'll go ahead and give the ore to the good brother Anu here, and allow him to take us through this journey. Everyone put a 72 in the chat. If you have not read this story, the Enuma Elish, put a 72 in the chat if you have not read this story. Let's see who this will be brand new to, which is great.
You just read my mind. I was just about to ask that.
Hey. Hotep, Minty Hotep. I was just thinking about you. So Tua, she says Hotep Maat, Nefer Karu. All right. Hotep to you, Minty Hotep. All right. Apologize for my tardiness. I didn't receive notification. Okay, well, sometimes it happens. If any of you realize that you're not receiving notifications, always check and make sure that when you right next to the subscribe button, there's a bell, and make sure you hit that bell right there, and make sure it's right here. It says all, because sometimes it'll just be on personalized and you won't receive it. So make sure the bell is set to all. And if you still don't get notifications, then unsubscribe and subscribe again. So sometimes YouTube does that. So Tua for saying that, Minty Hotep. All right, we have Menkhu Ara, Meri Maat, put 72. Lisa, she put 72. Okay, Nefer Keperet. All right, 72. All right, wonderful. So I'll pass it to you, great brother Anu. You can, and the floor is yours. Hotep.
Hotep. Tua, great brother. Today I'll be reading the Enuma Elish. People call it, the archaeologists, the researchers call it the Babylonian creation epic. If anyone watching would like to read this story for themselves, there are various places you can read the story. One of the books you can read the story from is, can this be seen? Or maybe I go like this.
There you
This
go.
book looks like this. The Enuma Elish by Timothy J. Stephen.
Hold it back up. Well, they put you on full screen. There we go.
This book right here.
Yes, we can see it.
This says the Enuma Elish, Tua, And Brother ATEF, he recommended a book or a book with books in it called Before the Muses. You can also read it in here as well, by Benjamin R. Foster. Today, I will be reading W.G. Lambert's translation. So is everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
To Ani for giving me the opportunity to do this, to Menkhu for asking more about Marduk, to ATEF for showing this Nefer book, to Sabatuti for being the inspiration. So I'm about to share my screen now and get into the story. Can my screen be seen?
Yes, we can.
See you, brother.
Thank you very much. When the heavens above did not exist, and earth beneath had not come into being, there was Apsu, the first in order, their begetter, and demiurge Tiamat, who gave birth to them all. They had mingled their waters together, before meadowland had coalesced, and reed bed was to be found. When not one of the gods had been formed, or had come into being, when no destinies had been decreed, the gods were created within them. Lahmu and Lahamu were formed and came into being. While they grew and increased in stature, Anshar and Kingshar, who excelled them, were created. They prolonged their days, they multiplied their years. Anu, their son, could rival his fathers. Anu, the son, equaled Anshar, and Anu beget Nidimud, his own equal. Nidimud was the champion among his fathers, profoundly discerning, wise, of robust strength, very much stronger than his father's begetter, Anshar. He had no rival among the gods, his brothers. The divine brothers came together. Their clamor got loud, throwing Tiamat into a turmoil. They jarred the nerves of Tiamat, and by their dancing they spread alarm in Anduruna. Apsu did not diminish their clamor, and Tiamat was silent when confronted with them. Their conduct was displeasing to her, yet though their behavior was not good, she wished to spare them. Thereupon Apsu, the begetter of the great gods, called Mumu, his vizier, and addressed him. Vizier Mumu, who gratifies my pleasure, come, let us go to Tiamat. They went and sat facing Tiamat. As they conferred about the gods, their sons, Apsu opened his mouth and addressed Tiamat. Their behavior has become displeasing to me, and I cannot rest in the daytime or sleep at night. I will destroy and break up their way of life, that silence may reign and we may sleep. When Tiamat heard this, she raged and cried out to her spouse. She cried in distress, fuming within herself. She grieved over the plotted evil. How can we destroy what we have given birth to? Though their behavior causes distress, let us tighten discipline graciously. Mumu spoke up with counsel for Apsu. As from a rebellious vizier was the counsel of his Mumu. Destroy, my father, that lawless way of life, that you may rest in the daytime and sleep by night. Apsu was pleased with him. his face beamed, because he had plotted evil against the gods, his sons. Mumu put his arms around Apsu's neck. He sat on his knees, kissing him. What they plotted in their gathering was reported to the gods, their sons. The gods heard it and were frantic. They were overcome with silence and sat quietly. The one who excels in knowledge, the skilled and learned, Ea, who knows everything, perceived their tricks. He fashioned it and made it to be all-embracing. He executed it skillfully as supreme, his pure incantation. He recited it and set it on the waters. He poured sleep upon him as he was slumbering deeply. He put Apsu to slumber as he poured out sleep. And Mumu, the counselor, was breathless with agitation. He split Apsu's sinews, ripped off his crown, carried away his aura and put it on himself. He bound Apsu and killed him. Mumu he confined and handled roughly. He set his dwelling upon Apsu and laid hold on Mumu, keeping the nose rope in his hand. After Ea had bound and slain his enemies, he achieved victory over his foes. He rested quietly in his chamber. He called it Apsu, whose shrines he appointed. Then he founded his living quarters within it. And Ea and Damkina, his wife, sat in splendor. In the chamber of destinies, the room of the archetypes, the wisest of the wise, the sage of the gods, Bel was conceived. In Apsu was Marduk born. In pure Apsu was Marduk born. Ea, his father, beget him. Damkina, his mother, bore him. He sucked the breasts of the goddesses. A nurse reared him and filled him with terror. His figure was well developed. The glance of his eyes was dazzling. His growth was manly. He was mighty from the beginning. He exulted and smiled, his heart filled with joy. Anu rendered him perfect. His divinity was remarkable, and he became very lofty, excelling them in his attributes. His members were incomprehensibly wonderful, incapable of being grasped with the mind, even hard to look on. 4 were his eyes, 4 were his ears. Flames shot forth as he moved his lips. His 4 ears grew large, and his eyes likewise took in everything. His figure was lofty and superior in comparison with the gods. His limbs were long, his nature was superior. Mariutu, the sun god, the sun god of the gods. He was clothed with the aura of the 10 gods, so exalted was his strength. The 50 dreads were loaded upon him. Anu formed and gave birth to the 4 winds. He delivered them to him. My son, let them whirl. He formed dust and set a hurricane to drive it. He made a wave to bring consternation on Tiamat. Tiamat was confounded. Day and night she was frantic. The gods took no rest. In their minds, they plotted evil and addressed their mother Tiamat. When Apsu, your spouse, was killed, you did not go at his side, but sat quietly. The 4 dreadful winds have been fashioned to throw you into confusion, and we cannot sleep. You gave no thought to Aspu, your spouse, nor to Mumu, who is a prisoner. Now you sit alone. Henceforth, you will be in frantic consternation. And as for us who cannot rest, you do not love us. Consider our burden, our eyes are hollow. Break the immovable yoke that we may sleep. Make battle, avenge them, reduce to nothingness. Tiamat heard this speech pleased her. She said, "Let us do now all that you have advised." The gods assembled within her. They conceived evil against the gods, their begetters. And took the side of Tiamat. Fiercely plotting, unresting by night and day, lusting for battle, raging, storming, they set up a host to bring about conflict. Mother Huber, who forms everything, supplied irresistible weapons and gave birth to giant serpents. They had sharp teeth. They were merciless. With poison instead of blood, she filled their bodies. She clothed the fearful monsters with dread. She loaded them with an aura and made them godlike. She said, "Let their onlooker feebly perish. May they constantly leap forward and never retire." She created the Hydra, the dragon, the hairy hero, the great demon, the savage dog, and the scorpion man. Fierce demons, the fish man, and the mighty bull. Carriers of merciless weapons, fearless in the face of battle. Her commands were tremendous, not to be resisted. Although she made 11 of that kind among the gods, her sons, whom she constituted her host, she exalted Kingu and magnified him among them. The leadership of the army, the direction of the host, the bearing of weapons, campaigning, the mobilization of conflict, the chief executive power of battle, supreme command, she entrusted to him and set him on a throne. I have cast a spell for you and exalted you in the host of the gods. I have delivered to you the rule of all the gods. You are indeed exalted. My spouse, you are renowned. Let your commands prevail over all the Anunnaki. She gave him the tablet of destinies and fastened it to his breast, saying, "Your order may not be changed. Let your utterance of your mouth be firm." After Kingu was elevated and had acquired the power of Anuship, he decreed the destinies for the gods, her sons. May the utterance of your mouths subdue the fire god. May your poison by its accumulation put down aggression. Tiamat gathered together her creation and organized battle against the gods, her offspring. Henceforth, Tiamat plotted evil because of Apsu. It became known to Ea that she had arranged the conflict. Ea heard this matter. He lapsed into silence in his chamber and sat motionless. After he had reflected and his anger had subsided, he directed his steps to Ansar, his father. He entered the presence of the father of his begetter, Ansar, and related to him all of Tiamat's plotting. "My father, Tiamat, our mother, has conceived a hatred for us. She has established a host in her savage fury. All the gods have turned to her. Even those you begat also take her side." They took the side of Tiamat, fiercely plotting, unresting by night and day, lusting for battle, raging, storming. They set up a host to bring about conflict. Mother Huber, who forms everything, supplied irresistible weapons and gave birth to giant serpents. They had sharp teeth. They were merciless. With poison instead of blood, she filled their bodies. She clothed the fearful monsters with dread. She loaded them with an aura and made them godlike. She said, "Let their onlooker feebly perish. May they constantly leap forward and never retire." She created the Hydra, the dragon, the hairy hero, the great demon, the savage dog, and the scorpion man. Fierce demons, the fish man, and the mighty bull. Carriers of merciless weapons, fearless in the face of battle. Her commands were tremendous, not to be resisted. Although she made 11 of that kind among the gods, her sons, whom she constituted her host, she exalted Kingu and magnified him among them. The leadership of the army, the direction of the host, the bearing of weapons, campaigning, the mobilization of conflict, the chief executive power of battle, supreme command. She entrusted to him and set him on a throne. "I have cast a spell for you and exalted you in the host of the gods. I have delivered to you the rule of all the gods. You are indeed exalted, my spouse. You are renowned. Let your command prevail over all the Anunnaki. She gave him the tablet of destinies and fastened it to his breast, saying, Your order may not be changed. Let the utterance of your mouth be firm. After Kingu was elevated and had acquired the power of Anuship, he decreed the destinies for the gods, her sons. May the utterance of your mouths subdue the fire god. May your poison, by its accumulation, put down aggression. Ansar heard. The matter was profoundly disturbing. He cried, Woe, and bit his lip. His heart was in fury. His mind could not be calmed. Over Ea, his son, his crying was faltering. My son, you who provoked the war, take responsibility for whatever you alone have done. You set out and killed Apsu. And as for Tiamat, whom you made furious, where is her equal? The gatherer of counsel, the learned prince, the creator of wisdom, the god Nidimud, with soothing words and calming utterance, gently answered his father Ansar. My father, deep mind, who decrees destiny, who has the power to bring into being and to destroy. Ansar, deep mind, who decrees destiny, who has the power to bring into being and to destroy. I want to say something to you. Calm down for a moment and consider that I performed a helpful deed. Before I killed Apsu, who could have seen the present situation? Before I quickly made an end of him, what were the circumstances were I to destroy him? Ansar heard. The words pleased him. His heart relaxed to speak to Ea. My son, your deeds are fitting for a god. You are capable of a fierce, unequaled blow. Ea, your deeds are fitting for a god. You are capable of a fierce, unequaled blow. Go before Tiamat and appease her attack. Though her anger be, expel it quickly with your incantation. He heard the speech of Ansar, his father. He took the road to her, proceeded on the route to her. Ea went. He perceived the tricks of Tiamat. He stopped, fell silent, and turned back. He entered the presence of august Ansar, penitently addressing him. My father, Tiamat's deeds are too much for me. I perceived her planning, but my incantation was not equal to it. Her strength is mighty. She is full of dread. She is, although altogether very strong, none can go against her. Her very loud noise does not diminish. I became afraid of her cry and turned back. My father, do not lose hope. Send a second person against her. Though a woman's strength is very great, it is not equal to a man's. Disband her cohorts. Break up her plans before she lays her hands on us. Ansar cried out in intense fury, addressing Anu, his son. Honored one, hero, warrior, whose strength is mighty, whose attack is irresistible. Hasten and stand before Tiamat. Appease her reins, that her heart may relax. If she does not hearken to your words, address to her words of petition, that she may be appeased. He heard the speech of Ansar, his father. He took the road to her, proceeded on the route to her. Anu went. He perceived the tricks of Tiamat. He stopped, fell silent, and turned back. He entered the presence of Ansar, the father who begat him, penitently addressing him. My father, Tiamat's deeds are too much for me. I perceived her planning, but my incantation was not equal to it. Her strength is mighty. She is full of dread. She is, although very strong, no one can go against her. Her very loud noise does not diminish. I became afraid of her cry and turned back. My father, do not lose hope. Send another person against her. Though a woman's strength is very great, it is not equal to a man's. Disband her cohorts. Break up her plans before she lays her hands on us. Ansar lapsed into silence, staring at the ground, nodding to Ea, shaking his head. The Igigi and all the Anunnaki had assembled. They sat in tight-lipped silence. No god would go to face, would go out against. Yet the Lord Ansar, the father of the great gods, was angry in his heart, not summoning anyone. A mighty son, the avenger of his father, he who hastens to war, the warrior Marduk. Ea summoned him to his private chamber to explain to him his plans. Marduk, give counsel, listen to your father. You are my son, who gives me pleasure. Go reverently before Ansar. Speak, take your stand, appease him with your glance. Bel rejoiced at his father's words. He drew near and stood in the presence of Ansar. Ansar saw him, his heart filled with satisfaction. He kissed his lips and removed his fear. My father, do not hold your peace, but speak forth. I will go and fulfill your desires. Ansar, do not hold your peace, but speak forth. I will go and fulfill your desires. Which man has drawn up his battle array against you? And will Tiamat, who is a woman, attack you with her weapons? My father, begetter, rejoice and be glad. Soon you will tread on the neck of Tiamat. Ansar, begetter, rejoice and be glad. Soon you will tread on the neck of Tiamat. Go, my son. Conversant with all knowledge, appease Tiamat with your pure spell, ride the storms, proceed without delay, and with an appearance which cannot be repelled, turn her back. Bel rejoiced at his father's words. With glad heart he addressed his father. Lord of the gods, destiny of the great gods, if I should become your avenger, if I should bind Tiamat and preserve you, convene an assembly and proclaim for me an exalted destiny. Sit all of you in Upshu Ukinaku with gladness, and let me, with my utterance, decree destinies instead of you. Whatever I instigate must not be changed, nor may my command be nullified or altered. Ansar opened his mouth and addressed Kaka, his vizier, Vizier Kaka, who gratifies my pleasure. I will send you to Lahu and Lahamu. You are skilled in making inquiry, learned in address. Have the gods my fathers brought to my presence. Let all the gods be brought. Let them confer as they sit at table. Let them eat grain. Let them drink ale. Let them decree the destiny for Marduk, their avenger. Go, begone, Kaka, stand before them and repeat to them all that I tell you. Ansar, your son has sent me, and I am to explain his plans. Thus, Tiamat, our mother, has conceived a hatred for us. She has established a host in her savage fury. All the gods have turned to her, even those you begat also take her side. They took the side of Tiamat, fiercely plotting, unresting by night and day, lusting for battle, raging, storming. They set up a host to bring about conflict. Mother Huber, who forms everything, supplied irresistible weapons and gave birth to giant serpents. They had sharp teeth. They were merciless. With poison instead of blood, she filled their bodies. She clothed the fearful monsters with dread. She loaded them with an aura and made them godlike. She said, let their onlooker feebly perish. May they constantly leap forward and never retire. She created the Hydra, the dragon, the hairy hero, the great demon, the savage dog, and the scorpion man. Fierce demons, the fishman and the mighty bull. Carriers of merciless weapons, fearless in the face of battle. Her commands were tremendous, not to be resisted, although she made 11 of that kind. Among the gods, her sons whom she constituted her host, she exalted Kingu and magnified him among them. The leadership of the army, the direction of the host, the bearing of weapons, campaigning, the mobilization of conflict, the chief executive power of battle, supreme command, she entrusted to him and set him on a throne. I have cast a spell for you and exalted you in the host of the gods. I have delivered to you the rule of all the gods. You are indeed exalted, my spouse. You are renowned. Let your command prevail over all Anunnaki. She gave him the tablet of destinies and fastened it to his breast, saying, your order may not be changed. Let your utterance of your mouth be firm. After Kingu was elevated and had acquired the power of Anuship, he decreed the destinies for the gods, her sons. May the utterance of your mouths subdue the fire god. May your poison by its accumulation put down aggression. I sent Anu, but he could not face her. Nidimu took fright and retired. Marduk, the sage of the gods, your son has come forward. He has determined to meet Tiamat. He has spoken to me and said, if I should become your avenger, if I should bind Tiamat and preserve you, convene an assembly and proclaim for me an exalted destiny. Sit all of you in Upsuk Kinaku with gladness, and let me, with my utterance, decree the destinies instead of you. Whatever I instigate must not be changed, nor may my command be nullified or altered. Quickly now, decree your destiny for him without delay, that he may go and face your powerful enemy. Kaka went. He directed his steps to Lahmu and Lahamu, the gods, his fathers. He prostrated himself. He kissed the ground before them. He got up, saying to them as he stood, Ansar, your son has sent me, and I am to explain his plans. Thus, Tiamat, our mother, has conceived a hatred for us. She has established a host in her savage fury. All the gods have turned to her. Even those you begat also take her side. They and took the side of Tiamat, fiercely plotting, unresting by night and day, lusting for battle, raging, storming. They set up a host to bring about conflict. Mother Huber, who forms everything, supplied irresistible weapons and gave birth to giant serpents. They had sharp teeth. They were merciless. With poison instead of blood, she filled their bodies. She clothed the fearful monsters with dread. She loaded them with an aura and made them godlike. She said, let their onlooker feebly perish. May they constantly leap forward and never retire. She created the Hydra, the dragon, the hairy hero, the great demon, the savage dog and the scorpion man, fierce demons, the fish man and the mighty bull. Carriers of merciless weapons, fearless in the face of battle. Her commands were tremendous, not to be resisted. Although she made 11 of that kind, among the gods, her sons, whom she constituted her host, she exalted Kingu and magnified him among them. The leadership of the army, the direction of the host, the bearing of weapons, campaigning, the mobilization of conflict, the chief executive power of battle, supreme command, she entrusted to him and set him on a throne. I have cast the spell for you and exalted you in the host of the gods. I have delivered to you the rule of all the gods. You are indeed exalted, my spouse. You are renowned. Let your command prevail over all the Anunnaki. She gave him the tablet of destinies and fastened it to his breast, saying, your order may not be changed. Let the utterance of your mouth be firm. After Kingu was elevated and had acquired the power of Anuship, he decreed the destinies for the gods, her sons. May the utterance of your mouths subdue the fire god. May your poison by its accumulation put down aggression. I sent Anu, but he could not face her. The Demu took fright and retired. Marduk, the sage of the gods, your son has come forward. He has determined to meet Tiamat. He has spoken to me and said, if I should become your avenger, if I should bind Tiamat and preserve you, Convene an assembly and proclaim for me an exalted destiny. Sit all of you and upshu uk inaku with gladness. And let me, with my utterance, decree destinies instead of you. Whatever I instigate must not be changed, nor may my command be nullified or altered. Quickly now, decree your destiny for him without delay, that he may go and face your powerful enemy. When Laha and Lahamu heard, they cried aloud. All the Igigi moaned in distress. What has gone wrong that she took this decision about us? We did not know what Tiamat was doing. All the great gods who decreed destinies gathered as they went. They entered the presence of Ansar and became filled with joy. They kissed one another as they in the assembly. They conferred as they sat at table. They ate grain, they drank ale, they stuffed their bellies with sweet cake. As they drank beer and felt good, they became quite carefree. Their mood was merry, and they decreed the destiny for Marduk, their avenger. They set a lordly dais for him, and he took his seat before his fathers to receive kingship. They said, you are the most honored among the great gods. Your destiny is unequaled. Your command is like Anu's. Marduk, you are the most honored among the great gods. Your destiny is unequaled. Your command is like Anu's. Henceforth, your order will not be annulled. It is in your power to exalt and abase. Your utterance is sure. Your command cannot be rebelled against. None of the gods will transgress the line you draw. Shrines for all the gods need provisioning, that you may be established where their sanctuaries are. You are Marduk, our avenger. We have given you kingship over the sum of the whole universe. Take your seat in the assembly. Let your word be exalted. Let your weapons not miss the mark, but may they slay your enemies. Bel, spare him who trusts in you, but destroy the God who set his mind on evil. They set a constellation in the middle and addressed Marduk, their son. Your destiny, Bel, is superior to that of all the gods. Command and bring about annihilation and recreation. Let the constellation disappear at your utterance. With a second command, let the constellation reappear. He gave the command, and the constellation disappeared. With a second command, the constellation came into being again. When the gods, his fathers, saw the effect of his utterance, they rejoiced and offered congratulation. Marduk is the king. They added to him a mace, a throne, and a rod. They gave him an irresistible weapon that overwhelms the foe. They said, go, cut Tiamat's throat, and let the winds bear up her blood to give the news. The gods, his fathers, decreed the destiny of Bel and set him on the road, the way of prosperity and success. He fashioned a bow and made it his weapon. He set an arrow in place, put the bowstring to it. He took up his club and held it in his right hand. His bow and quiver he hung at his side. He placed lightning before him and filled his body with tongues of flame. He made a net to enmesh the entrails of Tiamat and stationed the four winds that no part of her escape: the south wind, the north wind, the east wind, the west wind. He put beside his net winds given by his father Anu. He fashioned the evil wind, the dust storm, tempest, the fourfold wind, the sevenfold wind, the chaos spreading wind, the wind. he set out the 7 winds that he had fashioned. And they took their stand behind him to harass Tiamat's entrails. Bel took up the storm flood, his great weapon. He rode the fearful chariot of the irresistible storm. 4 teams he yoked to it and harnessed them to it. The destroyer, the merciless, the trampler, the fleet. Their lips were parted, their teeth bore venom. They were strangers to weariness, trained to sweep forward. At his right hand he stationed raging battle and strife. On the left, conflict that overwhelms a united battle array. He was clad in a tunic, a fearful coat of mail, and on his head he wore an aura of terror. Bel proceeded to set out on his way. He set his face towards raging Tiamat. In his lips he held a spell. He grasped a plant to counter poison in his hand. Thereupon they milled around him. The gods milled around him. The gods, his fathers, milled around him. The gods milled around him. Bel drew near, surveying the maw of Tiamat. He observed the tricks of Kingu, her spouse. As he looked, he lost his nerve. His determination went and faltered. His divine aides, who were marching at his side, saw the warrior, the foremost, and their vision became dim. Tiamat cast her spell without turning her neck. In her lips she held untruth and lies. In there they have assembled by you. Bel lifted up the storm flood, his great weapon, and with these words threw it at the raging Tiamat. Why are you aggressive and arrogant and strive to provoke battle? The younger generation have shouted, outraging their elders, but you, their mother, hold pity and contempt. Kingu you have named to be your spouse, and you have improperly appointed him to the rank of Anu's ship. Against Anshar, king of the gods, you have stirred up trouble, and against the gods, my fathers, your trouble is established. Deploy your troops, grid on your weapons. You and I will take our stand and do battle. When Tiamat heard this, she went insane and lost her reason. Tiamat cried aloud and fiercely. All her lower members trembled beneath her. She recited an incantation, kept reciting her spell. While the battle gods were sharpening their weapons of war, Tiamat and Marduk, the sage of the gods, came together, joining in strife, drawing near to battle. Bel spread out his net and enmeshed her. He let loose the evil wind, the rear guard, in her face. Tiamat opened her mouth to swallow it. She let the evil wind in so that she could not close her lips. The fierce winds weighed down her belly. Her inwards were distended and she opened her mouth wide. He let fly an arrow and pierced her belly. He tore open her entrails and slit her inwards. He bound her and extinguished her life. He threw down her corpse and stood on it. After he had killed Tiamat, the leader, her assembly dispersed, her hosts scattered. Her divine aides, who went beside her in trembling and fear, beat a retreat. They to save their lives, but they were completely surrounded, unable to escape. He bound them and broke their weapons, and they lay enmeshed, sitting in a snare, hiding in corners, filled with grief, bearing his punishment, held in a prison. The 11 creatures who were laden with fearfulness, the throngs of devils who went as grooms at her right hand, he put ropes upon them and bound their arms. Together with their warfare, he trampled them beneath him. Now, Kingu, who had risen to power among them. He bound and reckoned with the dead gods. He took from him the tablet of destinies, which was not properly his, sealed it with a seal, and fastened it to his own breast. After the warrior Marduk had bound and slayed his enemies, had the arrogant enemy, he established victory for Ansar over all his foes. He had fulfilled the desire of Nidimud. He strengthened his hold on the bound gods and returned to Tiamat, who he had bound. Bel placed his feet on the lower parts of Tiamat, and with his merciless club smashed her skull. He severed her arteries and let the north wind bear up her blood to give the news. His fathers saw it and were glad and exulted. They brought gifts and presents to him. Bel rested, surveying the corpse, in order to divide the lump by a clever scheme. He split her into two like a dried fish. One half of her he set up and stretched out as the heavens. He stretched the skin and appointed a watch, with the instruction not to let her waters escape. He crossed over the heavens, surveyed the celestial parts, and adjusted them to match the Apsu, Nidimud's abode. Bel measured the shape of the Apsu and set up Ishara, a replica of Ishgala, and Ishgala Ishara, which he had built, and the heavens he settled in their shrines, Anu, Enlil, and Ea. He fashioned heavenly stations for the great gods and set up constellations, the patterns of the stars. He appointed the year, marked off divisions, and set up 3 stars each for the 12 months. After he had organized the year, he established a heavenly station of Neberu to fix the stars' intervals, that none should transgress or be slothful. He fixed the heavenly stations of Enlil and Ea with it. Gates he opened on both sides, and put strong bolts at the left and the right. He placed the heights of heaven in her Tiamat's belly. He created Nanar, entrusting to him the night. He appointed him as the jewel of the night to fix the days. And month by month, without ceasing, he elevated him with a crown, saying, "Shine over the land at the beginning of the month, resplendent with horns to fix the calling of days. On the 7th day, the crown will be half size. On the 15th day, halfway through each month, stand in opposition. When Shamash sees you on the horizon, diminish in all the proper stages and shine backwards. On the 29th day, draw near the path of Shamash. The 30th day, stand in conjunction and rival Shamash. I have the sign, follow its track, draw near, give judgment. Shamash, constrain murder and violence. Me." When there's dots here like this, it means that the tablet was broke off, so they do not know what it says here. And for these lines here, they do not know what the interpretation is due to the tablet being broken. So parts of this are incomplete. At the end, let their day be the 29th day. After he had the decrees, the organization of front and he made the day. Let the year equally be. At the new year, the year, let them be regularly. The projecting bolt, after he had the watches of night and day, the foam which Tiamat, Marduk fashioned. He gathered it together and made it into clouds, the raging of the winds, violent rainstorms, the billowing of mist, the accumulation of her spittle. He appointed for himself and took them in his hand. He put her head in position and poured out. He opened the abyss, and it was sated with water. From her 2 eyes, he let the Euphrates and Tigris flow. He blocked her nostrils, but left. He heaped up the distant mountains on her breast. He bored wells to channel the springs. He twisted her tail and wove it into the Durmahu, the Apsu beneath his feet. He set up her crotch, it wedged up the heavens. Thus, the half of her he stretched out and made it firm as the earth. After he had finished his work inside Tiamat, he spread his net and let it right out. He surveyed the heavens and the earth, their bonds. After he had formulated his regulations and composed his decrees, he attached guide ropes and put them in Ea's hands. The tablet of destinies which Kingu had taken and carried, he took charge of as a trophy and presented it to Anu. The of battle, which he had tied on or had put on his head, he brought before his fathers. Now the 11 creatures to which Tiamat had given birth, and he broke their weapons and bound them, the creatures, to his feet. He made images of them and stationed them at the gate of Apsu, to be a sign, never to be forgotten. The gods saw it and were jubilantly happy. That is, Lahmu and Lahamu and all his fathers. Ansar embraced him and published abroad his title, Victorious King. Anu, Enlil, and Ea gave him gifts. Mother Damkina, who bore him, hailed him. With a clean festival robe, she made his face shine. To Ushmu, who held her present to give the news, he entrusted the vizierate of the Apsu and the care of the holy places. The Igigi assembled and did not obeisance to him. The Igigi assembled and all did obeisance to him. Every one of the Anunnaki was kissing his feet. They all gathered to show their submission. They stood, they bowed down. Behold the king. On Nama Sharu, behold the king, his fathers, and took their fill of his beauty. Bel listened to their utterance, being gritted with the dust of battle. Anointing his body with cedar perfume, he clothed himself in his lordly robe, with a crown of terror as a royal aura. He took up his club and held it in his right hand. He grasped in his left. He set his feet on the dragon. The scepter of prosperity and success he hung at his side. After he had the aura, his sack, the Apsu, with a fearful, was settled like in his throne room, in his cella, every one of the gods, Lahmu and Lahamu, opened their mouths and addressed the Gigi gods. Previously, Marduk was our beloved son. Now he is your king. Heed his command. Next, they all spoke up together. His name is Lugal Dimmer Ankia. Trust in him. When they had given kingship to Marduk, they addressed to him a benediction for prosperity and success. Henceforth, you are the caretaker of our shrines. Whatever you command, we will do. Marduk opened his mouth to speak and addressed the gods, his fathers. Above the Apsu, the emerald abode, opposite Ishara, which I built for you, beneath the celestial parts, whose floor I made firm, I will build a house to be my luxurious abode. Within it, I will establish its shrine. I will found my chamber and establish my kingship. When you come up from the Apsu to make a decision, this will be your resting place before the assembly. When you descend from heaven to make a decision, this will be your resting place before the assembly. I shall call its name Babylon, the home of the great gods. Babili, Babylon, the home of the great gods. Within it, we will hold a festival. That will be the evening festival. The gods, his fathers, heard this speech of his with regard to all that your hand has made, who has your, with regard to the earth that your hands have made, who has your, in Babylon, as you have named it, put our resting place forever. Let them bring our regular offerings. Whoever our task which we therein its toil, they rejoice, the gods. He who knows a favor to them, he opened his mouth, showing them light. His speech was preeminent. He made wide them and. The gods bowed down, speaking to him. They addressed Lugal Dem Mer Ankia, their lord, formerly, Lord, you were our beloved son. Now you are a king. He who preserved us, the aura of club and scepter, let him conceive plans, all skill that we. When Marduk heard the god's speech, he conceived a desire to accomplish clever things. He opened his mouth, addressing Ea. He counsels that which he had pondered in his heart. I will bring together blood and form bone. I will bring into being Lulu, whose name shall be man. I will create Lulu man, on whom the toil of the gods will be laid that they may rest. I will skillfully alter the organization of the gods. Though they are honored as one, they shall be divided into two. Ea answered, as he addressed a word to him, expressing his comments on the resting of the gods. Let one brother of theirs be given up, that he may perish and people may be fashioned. Let the great gods assemble, and let the guilty one be given up, that they may be confirmed. Marduk assembled the great gods, using gracious direction as he gave his order. As he spoke, the gods heeded him. The king addressed a word to the Anunnaki. Your former oath was true indeed. Now also tell me the solemn truth. Who is the one who instigated warfare? Who made Tiamat rebel and set battle in motion? Let him who instigated warfare be given up, that I may lay his punishment on him. But you sit and rest. The Gigi, the great gods, answered him. That is Lugal Dem Merankia, the counselor of the gods, their lord. Kingu is the one who instigated warfare, who made Tiamat rebel and set battle in motion. They bound him, holding him before Ea. They inflicted the penalty on him and severed his blood vessels. From his blood, Ea created mankind, on whom he imposed the service of the gods and set the gods free. After the wise Ea had created mankind and had imposed the service of the gods upon them, that task is beyond comprehension. For Nedimud performed the creation with the skills of Marduk. King Marduk divided the gods, all the Anunnaki, into upper and lower groups. He assigned 300 in the heavens to guard the decrees of Anu and appointed them as a guard. Next, he arranged the organization of the netherworld. In heaven and the netherworld, he stationed 600 gods. After he had arranged all the decrees, and had distributed incomes among the Anunnaki of heaven and netherworld. The Anunnaki opened their mouths and addressed their Lord Marduk. Now, Lord, seeing you have established our freedom, what favor can we do for you? Let us make a shrine of great renown. Your chamber will be our resting place, wherein we may repose. Let us erect a shrine to house a pedestal, wherein we may repose when we finish the work. When Marduk heard this, he beamed as brightly as the light of day. Build Babylon, the task you have sought. Let bricks for it be molded, and raise the shrine. The Anunnaki wielded the pick. For 1 year, they made the needed bricks. When the second year arrived, they raised the peak of Ish-Agil, a replica of Apsu. They built the lofty temple tower of the Apsu. And for Anu, Enlil, Ea, and him, they established it as a dwelling. He sat in splendor before them, surveying its horns, which were level with the base of Ishara. After they had completed the work of Isagil, all the Anunnaki constructed their own shrines. 300 Igigi of heaven and 600 of the Apsu, all of them had assembled. Bel seated the gods, his fathers, at the banquet, in the lofty shrine which they had built for his dwelling, saying, "This is Babylon, your fixed dwelling. Take your pleasure here. Sit down, enjoy." The great gods sat down. Beer mugs were set out, and they sat at the banquet. After they had enjoyed themselves inside, they held a service in awesome Isagil. The regulations and all the rules were confirmed. All the gods divided the stations of heaven and netherworld. The college of the 50 great gods took their seats. The 7 gods of destinies were appointed to give decisions. Bel received his weapons, the bow, and laid it before them. His divine fathers saw the net which he had made. His fathers saw how skillfully wrought was the structure of the bow, as they praised what he had made. Anu lifted it up in the divine assembly. He kissed the bow, saying, "It is my daughter." Thus he called the names of the bow. Long stick was the first. The second was May It Hit the Mark, with the third name Bow Star. He made it to shine in the sky. He fixed its heavenly position along with its divine brothers. After Anu had decreed the destiny of the bow, he set down a royal throne, a lofty one, even for a god. Anu set it there in the assembly of the gods. The great gods assembled. They exalted the destiny of Marduk and did not They exalted the destiny of Marduk and did not abstinence. They invoked a curse on themselves and took an oath with water and oil, and put their hands on their throats. They granted him the right to exercise kingship over the gods. They confirmed him as Lord of the gods of heaven and netherworld. Anshar gave him his exalted name, Ashuli. At the mention of his name, let us show submission. When he speaks, let the gods heed him. Let his command be superior in upper and lower regions. May the sun, our avenger, be exalted. Let his lordship be superior and himself without rival. Let him shepherd the blackheads, his creatures. Let them tell of his character to future days without forgetting. Let him establish lavish food offerings for his fathers. Let him provide for their maintenance and be caretaker of their sanctuaries. Let him burn incense to rejoice their sanctuaries. Let him do on earth the same as he has done in heaven. Let him appoint the blackheads to worship him. The subject humans should take note and call on their gods. Since he commands they should heed their goddesses. Let food offerings be brought for their gods and goddesses. May they not be forgotten. May they remember their gods. May they their shrines. Though the blackheads worship some another god, he is the God of each and every one of us. Come, let us call the 50 names of him whose character is resplendent, whose achievement is the same. And now I'm about to get into the 50 names of Marduk. One, Marduk. As he was named by his father Anu from his birth, who supplies pasturage and watering, making the stables flourish, who bound the boastful with his weapon, the storm flood, and saved the gods, his fathers, from distress. He is the sun god of the gods. He is dazzling. Let them ever walk in his bright light. On the peoples that he created, the living beings, he imposed the service of the gods, and they took rest. Creation and annihilation, forgiveness and exacting the plenty occur at his command. So let them fix their eyes on him. 2. Maruk Ka. He is the God who created them, who put the Anunnaki at ease, the Igigi at rest. 3. Marutukku. He is the support of land, city, and its peoples. Henceforth, let the peoples ever heed him. 4. Mersha Kushu. Fierce, yet deliberating, angry, yet relenting. His mind is wide. His heart is all-controlling. 5. Lugal Dem Merankia is the name by which we all called him, whose command we have exalted above that of the gods his fathers. He is the Lord of all the gods of heaven and the netherworld, the king at whose injunctions the gods in upper and lower regions shudder. 6. Nar Ilu Gal Dem Mer Ankia is the name we gave him, the mentor of every god, who established our dwellings in heaven and netherworld in time of trouble, who distributed the heavenly stations between Igigi and Anunnaki. Let the gods tremble at his name and quake on their seats. 7. Ashalui is the name by which his father Anu called him. He is the light of the gods, a mighty hero who, as his name says, is a protecting angel for God and land, who in a terrible combat saved our dwelling in time of trouble. 8. Ashalui Namtila. They called him secondly, the life-giving God, who, in accordance with the form of his name, restored all the ruined gods. The Lord who brought to life the dead gods by his pure incantation. Let us praise him as destroyer of the crooked enemies. 9. Ashalui Namru. As his name is called thirdly, the pure God who cleanses our character. Anshar, Lahmu, and Lahamu each called him by 3 of his names. When they addressed the gods, their sons, we have each called him by 3 of his names. Now you call his names like us. The gods rejoiced as they heard their speech, and Upshu Inaki. They held a conference of the warrior son, our avenger, of the provisioner. Let us exalt the name. They sat down in their assembly, summoning the destinies, and with all due rights, they called his name. 10. Ashar Re, the giver of arable land, who established plowland, the creator of barley and flax, who made plant life grow. 11. Ashar Alim, who is revered in the council chamber, whose counsel excels. The gods heed it and grasp fear of him. 12. Ashar Alim Un Na, the noble, the light of the Father, his begetter, who directs the decrees of Anu, Enlil, and Ea, that is Ninsiku. He is the provisioner who assigns their incomes, whose turban multiplies abundance for the land. 13. Tutu is he who accomplishes their renovation. Let him purify their sanctuaries that they may repose. Let them fashion an incantation that the gods may rest. Though they rise up in fury, let them withdraw. He is indeed exalted in the assembly of the gods, his fathers. No one among the gods can equal him. 14. Tutu Ziuk Kina, the life of his host, who established the pure heavens for the gods, who took charge of their courses, who appointed their stations. May he not be forgotten among mortals, but let them remember his deeds. 15. Tutuziku, they called him thirdly the establisher of purification, the god of the pleasant breeze, lord of success and obedience, who produces bounty and wealth, who establishes abundance, who turns everything scant that we have into provision, whose pleasant breeze we sniffed in the time of terrible trouble. Let man command that his praise be constantly uttered. Let them offer worship to him as Tutu Agaku. Fourthly, let humans extol him. Lord of the pure incantation, who brought the dead back to life, who showed mercy on the bound gods, who threw and imposed yoke on the gods, his enemies, and to spare them created mankind, the merciful, and whose power it is to restore life. Let his words be sure and not forgotten. For the mouths of the black heads, his creatures. From the mouths of his black heads, his creatures. As 17, Tutu, Tuku. Fifthly, let their mouth give expression to his pure spell, who extirpated all the wicked by his pure incantation. 18, Shazu, who knew the heart of the god, who saw the reins, who did not let an evildoer escape from him, who established the assembly of the gods, who rejoiced their hearts, who subjugated the disobedient. He is the gods, encompassing protection. He made truth to prosper. He uprooted preserved speech. He separated falsehood from truth. As 19, Shazu, Zisi. Secondly, let them continually praise him, the subduer of aggressors, who ousted constration from the bodies of the gods, his fathers. 20. Shazu, Surim. Thirdly, who extirpated every foe with his weapon, who confounded their plans and turned them into wind. He snuffed out all the wicked who came against him. Let the gods ever shout acclamation in the assembly. 21. Shazu, Sur, Gurim. Fourthly, who established success for the gods, his fathers, who extirpated foes and destroyed their offspring, who scattered their achievements, leaving no part of them. Let his name be spoken and proclaimed in the land. As 22, Shazu, Zahrim. Fifthly, let future generations discuss him. Let future generations discuss him. The destroyer of every rebel, of all the disobedient, who brought all the fugitive gods into the shrines. Let this name of his be established as Shazu Sagurim. Sixthly, let them all together and everywhere worship him, who himself destroyed all the foes in battle. 24. En Belulu. Is he, the Lord who supplies them abundantly, their great chosen one, who provides cereal offerings, who keeps a pasturage and watering in good condition and established it for the land, who opened water courses and distributed plentiful water. 25. And Belulu Ipadun, Lord of common land and irrigation ditch, let them call him secondly, canal supervisor of heaven and netherworld, who sets furrows, who establishes clean arable land in the open country, who directs irrigation ditch and canal, and marks out the furrow as in Belulu Gugal, canal supervisor of the water courses of the gods. Let them praise him thirdly, Lord of abundance, provision, and huge stores of grain, who provides bounty, who enriches human habitations, who gives wheat, who brings grain into being as Anbelulu Hegal, who accumulates abundance for the people. Let them speak of him fourthly, who rains down riches on the broad earth and supplies abundant vegetation. 28. Sir, who heaped up a mountain on top of Tiamat, who plundered the corpse of Tiamat with his weapons, the guardian of the land, their trustworthy shepherd, whose hair is a growing crop, whose turban is a furrow, who kept crossing the broad sea in his fury, and kept crossing over the place of her battle as though it were a bridge. 29. Sir, Malah. They named him secondly. So be it. Tiamat was his boat. He was her sailor. 29. Sir, Mahlah. They named him secondly. So be it. Tiamat was his boat. He was her sailor. 30. Gil. Whoever heaps up piles of barley, massive mounds, the creator of grain and flocks, who gives seed for the land. 31. Gilima, who made the bond of the gods firm, who created stability, a snare that overwhelmed them, who yet extended favors. 32. Gilima. 32. Gilima, the lofty one, who snatches off the crown, who takes charge of snow, who created the earth on the water and made firm the height of heaven. 33. Zulum, who assigns meadows for the gods and divides up what he has created, who gives incomes and food offerings, who administers shrines. 34. Mumu, creator of heaven and netherworld, who protects refugees, the God who purifies heaven and netherworld. Secondly, Zulum Mu, in respect of whose strength none of the other gods can equal him. 35. Gish Num Un Nab, creator of all the peoples, who made the world regions, who destroyed Tiamat's gods and made peoples from part of them. 36. Lugal Ab Dubur, the king who scattered the works of Tiamat, who uprooted her weapons, whose foundation is secure on the fore and aft. 37. Pagal Guana, foremost of all lords, whose strength is exalted, who is the greatest among the gods, his brothers, the most noble of them all. 38. Lugal Durmah, king of the bond god of the gods, lord of Durmahu, who is the greatest in the royal abode, infinitely more lofty than the other gods. 39. Ara Nuna, counselor of Ea, creator of the gods his fathers, whom no god can equal in respect of his lordly walk. 40. Dumuduku, who renews for himself his pure abode in Duku. Dumuduku, without whom Lugal-Duku does not make a decision. 41. Lugal Shuana, the king whose strength is exalted among the gods, the Lord, the strength of Anu, he who is supreme, chosen of Anshar. 42. Irugga, who plundered them all in the sea, who grasped all wisdom, is comprehensive in understanding. 43. Irkingu, who plundered Kingu in battle, who directs all decrees and establishes lordship. 44. Kima, the director of all the gods, who gives counsel, at whose name the gods bend down in reverence as before a hurricane. 45. Dingir Ishkur, let him take the lofty seat in the house of benediction. Let the gods bring their presence before him until he receives their offerings. No one but he accomplishes clever things. The 4 regions of black heads are his creation. Apart from him, no god knows the measure of their days. 47. Giru, who makes weapons hard, who accomplished clever things in the battle with Tiamat, comprehensive in wisdom, skilled in understanding, a deep mind, that all the gods combined do not understand. Let 47 Addu be his name. Let him cover the whole span of heaven. Let him thunder with his pleasant voice upon the earth. May the rumble of the clouds diminish, that he may give sustenance to the peoples below. "48. Asharu, who, as his name says, mustered the divine fates. He indeed is the warden of absolutely all peoples. As 49, Neberu, let him hold the crossing place of heaven and netherworld. They should not cross above or below, but should wait for him. Neberu is his star, which he caused to shine in the sky. Let him take his stand on the heavenly staircase, that they may look at him. Yet he who constantly crosses the sea without resting, let his name be Neberu, who grasps her middle. Let him fix the paths of the stars of heaven. Let him shepherd all of the gods like sheep. Let him bind Tiamat and put her life in mortal danger. To generations yet unborn, to distant future days, may he continue unchecked. May he persist into eternity. Since he created the heavens and fashioned the earth, Enlil, the Father, called him by his own name, Enlil 50, Lord of the lands. Ea heard the names which all the Igigi called, and his spirit became radiant. Why? He whose name was exalted by his fathers, let him, like me, be called 51, Ea. Let him control the sum of all my rights. Let him administer my decrees. With the word 50, the great gods called his 50 names and assigned him an outstanding position. They should be remembered. They should be remembered. A leading figure should expound them. The wise and learned should confer about them. A father should repeat them and teach them to his son. One should explain them to shepherd and herdsman. If one is negligent to Marduk, the Enlil of the gods, if one is not negligent to Marduk, the Enlil of the gods, may one's land flourish and oneself prosper. For his word is reliable. His command is unchanged. No God can alter the utterance of his mouth. When he looks in fury, he does not relent. When his anger is ablaze, no God can face him. His mind is deep. His spirit is all embracing. Before whom sin and transgression are sought out. Instruction with a leading figure repeated before him Marduk. He wrote it down and stored it so that generations to come might hear it. The destiny of Marduk, whom the Igigi gods exalted. Wherever water is drunk, let them invoke his name. Here now is the song of Marduk, who defeated Tiamat and took kingship, the temple of Babylon, and the rest of the tablet is destroyed. So that concludes the story of the Enuma Elish. Water? Marduk. Absolutely Nefer story. Nefer.
HOTEP, great brothers.
HOTEP.
Yeah, I just want to say the Anunnaki have spoken. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, brother. I had I seen somebody in the chat was commenting on me having that book. I got all my recommendations from our great teacher, so I knew nothing about that story prior to. Thank you for reading that. Thank you for sharing that story. And I love how you had the translation on the side, brother, because that was a express, like something that you did on your own, which was definitely good to see. Good to see those tones and that it's good to see what the people say themselves, brother. It's good to hear that. So thank you for coming up here and sharing that, reading that with us. This daylight savings is really it's really bothering me with Saba's classes. I'm like woozy, man, but I'm gonna tell you what I was doing. I was sitting up there playing the Marduk story in my head because it was just playing like it was a movie. It really lets me see where a lot of the things that we watched and saw and the stories and stuff that they were presented to us, where they took inspiration from, is really good to see. Because before I met Saba, I had never even heard of an Enuma Elish or a Kiengi, Marduk, Anu. I had no idea. And prior to that, I had took the tone Arcad, which was Babylonian. At the time, I didn't know. I didn't even understand. I didn't understand none of those things, brother. So where I'm at right now, and I'm still a baby, and where I need to go. It's just a beautiful journey. So thank you for coming up here and reading that story. That's like my thing, maybe second or third time actually hearing the whole tones in its entirety. So thank you for that. You read very well too, brother. Yeah, look forward to your teachings on that on Tuesday. Definitely. It's a creation story. It's a hero story. It's just a great story, brother. So two out for your Nefertones, and I'll pass it to the other brothers and let them speak. But yeah, thank you for coming on the panel too, brother. Thank you for being the first too. Thank you for being the first guest that we have that's also a member. We definitely appreciate the support that you provide to us. And any way that we can support you, we will, and we'll continue to do that. So I encourage all the members, because you remember we put the link up all the time and invite people up on the panel. I don't know if people scared or what they have going on, but before I started this journey where I'm at, I had no idea what I would be doing, where I would be doing it at, and what that would look like. So it's really, really, really good to see, another brick being added to the foundation of the House of Aten, brother. Just like the old stories, we support the Anunnaki, the Neter, and the Anunnaki is, a wonderful coexistence, and I was gonna say syncretism. Oh man, oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, brother. So again, I welcome you to this panel. I welcome you to this platform, and I definitely look forward to all that you bring to our for your Nefertones and for coming up here and sharing that with us, great brother. To our for then, I'm gonna give you another round of applause because I really appreciate you.
Mini and Tua very much for their appreciation. I love it. I love all of you. You are all. There needs to be I need to learn the Meri word for inspiration. Better than inspiration. So Tua.
Yes. Hinu to you, Tua, great brother, for sharing this read. I am a very visual person. I don't know if it exists, but I would definitely love to see this, in a visual form, like a movie or something. It's a great story. There's so many aspects to it. I could visualize it happening, but I would love. This is the reason why I started my own film company, because I have hopes and dreams that these the stories, the indigenous writings, the stories of the ancient indigenous ancestors, that I will be able to bring these stories to life one way or another, because it's just very, very powerful, right? And I echo a lot of what ATEF said. Your cadence and your voice, you read that very masterfully, and so it's great to have so many brothers with so many talents come up to the panel. So Hinu to you for your courage, and just to learning who you are and like stepping into greatness. Like you have to have the courage, and you have to see yourself in a great light in order to step into that destiny. And there was a couple lines in there that I liked. Towards the beginning, one of the things that you read was the Chamber of Destinies. I really loved that. And then there was a part that you read was 4 ears grew large. And so that stood out to me. I was like, wait, what? 4 ears? There's another line I really like too, is let your command over all the Anunnaki. That stood out to me. And then I started to, because like ATEF said, I don't know much about the Anunnaki except what I've learned from Saba. And then I've seen really clips of YouTube shorts by a person I will not name that will remain nameless, saying some crazy stuff about Tehuti. Yeah, this dude is wilding out. Yeah, I really enjoyed that reading. You did a great job. We are proud of you. Yeah, just continue to allow yourself to grow and flourish, and just to be courageous in your journey, great brother. So hand it to you.
To all very much for your appreciation, Menkhu. I would love to see the movies that you're gonna put out one day. Ooh,
maybe we gonna work. Maybe it's gonna take the whole HOA to make that happen. I'm just one little brother in Madison, Wisconsin, with a lot of visions and dreams, and so hopefully we'll come together like Transformers and Transformer and make this happen.
I agree.
I think you meant to say you're one netter in Madison, Wisconsin.
You know,
yes, 2 hours.
Yes.
2 hours. All right. Yes, HOTEP. HOTEP. 2 hours for reading that. Yes, you read very well, and it's very easy to follow along with when you read. And it helps the story to be painted because this is definitely a very detailed story, and there's a lot in here. There's a lot in here to speak about, and you know this because what Saba Tehuti has brought forth and making sure that we're speaking about what the ancestors said themselves in their writings. And yeah, 2 having the transliteration with it too, for people to subconsciously be able to look. And there was one point where you pointed out the actual word for Babylon. So that's good for people to know too, because you showed them the source of why people call it Babylon. And you know that was excellent. So 2 for showing that. Yeah, there's a lot in here. You know, we just put the emerald tablets on trial, and see we read this story, and now we actually see some tablets in the ancestors' writings. That people can take time to look into, which is tablets of destinies, something that was faceted to the breast. That would be something interesting to look into. And it exists in the writing. So where we should be doing our research and our digging. So I love that. And I love one part in the beginning, closer to the beginning, when it said, I want to say something to you. Calm down for a moment. He said, you know, before I killed Apsu. So it was I like that. I love that a lot, because it just shows how even then, you know, it's the emotions can take hold of someone, and even when you produce something or you do some type of action that may seem off, and here, you know, that's a story right there too, as well, you know, of just like Set killing Asar, and you know, Apsu getting killed, and we see, and now it's being explained, and after he was like, hold on, calm down a second, let me tell you, and then he was like, okay, well now I found his words good. So it's very interesting to be able to read these types of stories that are the foundation for all of these religious stories that come out later, and just to be able to see and read the real stories from the actual people who brought them forth. So yeah, Tua for reading this. It was Nefer. I look forward to your class on Tuesday to further show who Marduk is. And Menkhu, there's you got 50 names, and you should we got all of who that is, and Anu's gonna detail it down and show some more for us Tuesday on Marduk. And you know, it's a wonderful thing that's happening. So yes, Hotep Hinu to you, Anu, for choosing to read this and bring this up and illuminate some of the Anunnaki, as I think you've carried that name, that tone since you've presented yourself, if I'm not mistaken. So it's something that's very dear and close with you. So it's good to see your Ka express that which is a part of you. So it's a beautiful thing, good brother. So Hotep and Hinu, yeah, Tua for that.
You do. Tua for your appreciation. Tua to everybody for allowing me to come and express myself. Niduk and Tua. Absolutely beautiful story with a lot of stuff in it, like you said. I'm looking forward to my class as well on Tuesday. I'm gonna be going into Marduk. So we'll see.
All right, I put the link in the chat. If anyone wants to hit the link, come up and speak to the good brother, speak about how you felt about the story. And so there's the link. Don't be afraid to hit it and come let your vibrations be heard.
Antu is gonna come next to me.
Okay, excellent.
Let's come up. I'll be right back. I need to go to the bathroom.
All right.
Welcome, great sister. You know what's so great is when coming in contact with these great stories of these ancestors. I was gonna read that. I was thinking about that, just in terms of things. Peace, great sister. How are you?
HOTEP, I'm doing great. How are all you?
Excellent,
Good.
excellent. What did you think?
Welcome,
It
Hotel.
was so beautiful. I loved it. It was beautiful. Every time he reads, I have this sensation of me being there, like some of you were explaining. Yeah, the way his vibration and his tones, it puts me there, and it creates this image in my mind. And I truly do feel like I am there, and the ancestors are truly speaking through him. And it's so beautiful to be next to him and experience something so beautiful. And I really loved the explanations of their features. It was very detailed, and the casting of spells and incantations, the utterances of the mouth, I loved that as well. And I found it very interesting that there's 50 names. I've never heard anyone being given 50 names before, so I found that very interesting. Henu Anu, you did really good. You did great. And I'm very proud of Anu. He's come so far, and it could make me cry to see how far he's came. It's very beautiful. And yeah, I'm very proud. So Tua for your reading.
Couldn't have done it without her as well. By the Jed.
Effort.
That's great. I totally agree with you. It's great to see you. It's a beautiful journey that we're all on together. So I definitely agree with you. You definitely have a great vibration. Good brother, we can definitely feel that energy. And I'm definitely not going to blame it on daylight savings time, because I definitely took a couple trips it was just playing out like a movie, brother, because your voice is so smooth. And that's just what it was doing for me. Like I said, I'm not that familiar with the story. I've only read it like twice. So to hear you read it, it was a different experience, but it's still just as great. And it definitely took me on a trip, brother. So Tua for that, in a good way, because the vibration was just so great. Like your mate said, it's great. So Tua for that, and Tua to the great members. Go ahead, Menkhu.
Really quick, Atef, I didn't mean to interrupt your build. Did y'all see on the Joe Rogan interview with Cat Williams with his chain, he says his medallion is a compass or watch that the Anunnaki wear? Is that what he said, or am I bugging?
Yeah. Nah, he said that. Yeah, he said that. Said he designed it himself, but he got it from them. I'm like, did you design it yourself or did you get it from them? You got it from them and then you added to it? Okay, all right. That's what you meant to say. But yeah, nah. Yeah, man, it's you see, you you know what? It's okay to just like I said, when I first heard of that story was from Saba. That book, the book recommendation, the Before the Muses wasn't Saba. But the story, the original story was. The book was a different guest on the show, but I was already to that point to where it was like, what did the people say themselves? So I was trying to just get my hands on just everything, just everything from everybody, all the tablets and papyruses and different things. Once I knew, like, oh, that's the source. Okay, I don't want to know about let me go straight to what those people said. Let me read that. I want to read it for what the people said. Like, so the book was called Before the Muses, and just as great stories when I'm trying to find different things to read and inspiration, because I don't like to just grab the book and flip through it. There's so many great stories that I want them to be read in the order that I want to present them in a way that that is organic, because I allow myself to be guided to read particular stories, and that was definitely one of the ones I was reading. So that was definitely necessary that come out now, especially, and be read by us, be read by you, great brother. The way everything is lining up is just pure magic. So again, I just want to thank you for that. And Minty says in the chat, she says, I hope this is one of many. Oh, here it goes right here. She says, hopefully this is not a one-time thing. This is magical. Minty, we encourage all of the members and all the supporters to, whatever it is that you bring forth, to, bring it forth. Because we all play different roles. We all working toward the same goal, but we all have different aspects that we're going to go ahead, great Menkhu.
Quick question. I don't want to do a spoiler alert. Maybe you shared this before, or maybe Tuesday when you teach, you'll talk about this. But I'm curious of how did you just discover the Anunnaki? What happened? What led you to have interest in the Anunnaki? Have you shared that before, or are you going to share that on Tuesday? I'm just curious. Doesn't mean you have to answer that, but I'm curious about how you arrived to the Anunnaki.
I have not shared that live before. I'll share it here because I did not plan on sharing it during my presentation. But when I was young, I figured out how to have out of bodies using a certain technique, and I started to regress in my worldly thinking. I started to realize that certain things in the world just weren't right, and what certain things people were saying just didn't make any sense. And the way I started to figure that out mainly was by looking at what at that time I called dreams. I was studying how you can live inside of a dream, but then people say that I don't even know what people say anymore, but back then they said it's fake or something like that. Stuff like that. So what happened was I started to figure out how to have out of bodies as time progressed. And I had went to the other realm, maybe called the Neterkurt, the Tuat, the Kur. I went to the other realm. At that time, I didn't know any of these words. I just called it the astral plane because that was the only way I could describe it. But I realized that me and every other thing in existence existed before it was here. So if it existed before it was here, that means we have been multiple things, and we have come in to this life and other lives and other forms of existence in multiple ways, with multiple rens, with multiple names and images. And I had come across a being that I am familiar with in the Nether Kurt, as we call it now. At that time, I called it the astral plane. And I asked the being, what am I doing here? Why am I here on this planet? What is my goal? What is my mission? And the being told me that my mission is to teach people what life really is, and that on this planet and here, people think that there is no life after death or before death. And I said, well, why is that? Why am I supposed to do that? And where are other people doing it? And then that's when I had learned that there are other people out there with this same mission and same goal. It's just that I have not come across them yet. And I have to ask myself, who am I supposed to be in this life, and who have I been in another life? And that's when I asked myself, like how Sabatuti teaches, you can ask the realm things, and it'll talk back to you. I asked, who am I? And it said, you are Anu. And then that's when I was like, who's Anu? So then I come back here, I start doing all this research. I started looking up the Anunnaki. That's when I came across the Enuma Elish. I started reading stuff like that. But I was very confused because I didn't have any guidance. I didn't have nobody to look up to on how to be that ancient part of myself. And I kind of just tried to learn what I could and make sense of what I could. And everything didn't really start to come together until I saw Saba Tehuti. I was watching the Killer Priest podcast, and there's this, I don't want to give away too much, but there's this place that I've been to where it's all black. And in that place, you can talk to and learn anything. And I've been there around 3 times. And after going there, I could see other people that had went there. And when I saw Sabatuti, ANTU can be my witness because she was there. When I saw Sabatuti, I looked at her and I go, he's Tehuti. Mm-hmm. Flat. I was like, he's Tehuti, and he's been to that realm that I went to. And that's when I knew life's going to change and I have to reorient my mind, because I realized this is the person I've been looking for. This is the person I can look up to. They're the person that's millions and billions of years ahead of me, and I'm supposed to follow his path in order to reintegrate myself with my older self, my Ka, my Ba. And now I'm here.
Well, great brother for sharing that. And I loved everything that you shared. There's one thing that you said really, really resonated with me. I'm sure it resonated with other people as well. When you said you learned about the ancient part of yourself, that is so powerful. I can say that is definitely what's happening to me. I don't want to hog the mic, but I did want to say this. I love that you shared that story too, because for so long, I was experiencing what people call deja vu. I have a really strong ESP thing that happens, so-called ESP, and this claircognizant part of me. I was at a thing Friday, and I turned around and I looked at the people, and I was like, oh my God, I knew this was gonna happen. And they looked at me so crazy, because like, sometimes I can't tell, right? I get things go through my mind, and I was like, where is this coming from? Is this coming from the ancestors? Is this me? Is this my ESP, my claircognizant? What is this thing? And it happens like, sometimes it's like a flash. And I'll be like, what was this crazy thought? And then I'll be in a room or a scenario, and I'll be like, oh my God, I knew this happened. And everybody will look at me like I'm crazy. And it's usually a confirmation that I'm right where I'm supposed to be on my path. So I just wanted to share that. So to you, great brother, Saba taught us, well, maybe I want to share this because he said it in the Meta Magic class, and you just got to go get that if you wanted to hear what I was going to say. But, to you, to a great brother, for sharing your story and who you are. It's very nefer, very powerful.
Nini Tua.
Oh, welcome, Minty. I'm sorry. Welcome to the panel. I'm sorry. When you came on, Anu was doing his build, and I should have welcomed you before I went into my whole little soapbox.
You there, Minty? Welcome to the panel. Yeah, that was a great question, Menkhu. And that's definitely, I think that's the path that a lot of people should be on, Anu, is that if you just look at, being in this, what reality that we're in, without the guidance of Saba, right? Without the guidance of Tehuti, and then you look around, everything is a lie, but you don't even know the lie is a lie. You know what I mean? And then little by little things start to not make sense to you, and you start to question your reality or not. You start to question the things that's real, because it's like, when it comes to yourself, who are you? You're a human being, or you're a Puerto Rican or South American, or you're this or you're that. All of these different titles and all this stuff that when you really actually break it down, it don't make sense. None of it is true. All the limitations, all these titles and these things, these are limitations that are placed upon us. These frequencies, and it's very powerful, because they've taken away our language, our mother tongue, for whatever our original existence is. We're all, we all have different, paths, but the origin is it all traces back to the same. But they've erased all of that, and they've given us these false flags. Oh, you're American. Oh, you're South American. You're Mexican. You're whatever it is. That's just not true. That all of these things just place limitations on us, and it's tough, because we buy into it and we don't know we buying into it, until you begin to have experiences like you did. I knew that if you share with most people would think is weird. Like, most of the people around us, if you had these conversations in what we would call a normal setting, people would look at you or us like we're weird. So, and that's really not the case. It's just that people are they're, I don't know, I don't want to say addicted to the lie and imbued with the lie. How about that? They're imbued with the lie and everything that the lie produces. Go ahead, Menkhu.
No, yeah. I'm just raising my hand for I would like to go next. I'm never trying to interrupt your bill.
I'm just saying, I appreciate that question you asked him and his great answer, because that's very powerful. I hope everyone out there is listening. Just identify yourself. Like I said, I ask them questions like, tell me success without colonization. Tell me who you are without a lie. Like, just who you are, and we don't know. So to meet Saba, I recognize that immediately too. I said, how is he answering these questions and winning these debates and doing that? And then when you begin to learn more about the Natiru and just life, then questions begin to be answered, especially when you look at history and then you start putting the pieces together based on the tablets and the papyruses and what's in the museums. Everything starts to make sense. It makes sense. It lines up perfectly. So Tua for that, great brother. And everyone that's on the panel listening, Minty, welcome. And everyone that's listening, question everything. Yes. To our great sister HOTEP. You're on mute. We can't hear you.
While Minty gets situated, I wanted to say something. Oh yeah. I love this because I'm now ready for my world to be rocked, right? And I kind of be during the pandemic when I said, if I'm a spiritual person I want to show that to myself. And I went to Jamaica during the pandemic, and I'm only saying this, and I'm saying this to Antu. I like what you shared, because Saba, I think I'm ready for Saba's false flag classes. I am ready for all of it. Like, I am ready. Like he said, he said, if I do the false flag, he said something along the lines that it'll kind of, the way we think and see things, it'll change that. And I've been ready for that for a while, so I'm happy that is what's happening. Rock Maat, just obliterate it all. Just blow it up. I need to tell them, blow it up. I'm straight up ready for the raw. Like, people saying this crazy stuff.
I don't crave with pseudos.
People saying this crazy stuff about Tehuti and the Anunnaki, and people saying that Tehuti's brother was this person, and all of this crazy stuff. He went to Egypt and was at Jesus' mama's house. Like, nah, we need to deal with this craziness. Like, we need to know, right? Because the Matrix, all of this trickery, this technology, and all of this politics stuff, I'm sick of all of this stuff. So, you know, we're really fortunate to be in, you know, to have Saba as our master teacher and be in tune into the frequency as much as we are capable of absorbing. And so it's just really beautiful. I'm ready for the false flag. I am ready. I'm ready. Turn it upside down, tear it down, blow it up.
HOTEP, MINTI.
Nev Nefer Unk. Everything is beautiful in life.
MINTI, come to the panel, great sister. We want to hear your tones.
Nev Nefer Unk. Everything is beautiful in life.
Sending out the bat signal. There you go, great sister. Can we hear you? Why is, I don't know, it's something on your end, no sound.
Sun looks beautiful though.
It definitely is beautiful, beautiful it's California sunshine.
Yeah, it's dark. It's dark here.
We can't hear you. No sound.
Yeah, Minty, go out and come back in. That'll probably fix it.
You did what?
Yes, HOTEP, everyone. Yes, it's wonderful. Too out for sharing parts of your story, Anu. That helps. That helps me to understand a little bit more about certain things. So, too out for that. And yeah, it's a wonderful thing. And I always love to hear people speak about the magic that exists in one's life, because so many times that gets turned off by people in the Matrix who discourage people from speaking about, you know, experiences such as you had. So it's great that, you know, we have brothers such as yourself to be able to speak with that with confidence, to know what something is, to also encourage others to remember certain things about themselves that once was denied when they spoke about it. So it's a very important thing that when we do speak, and when we do speak about our journeys that led us to where we are here, to acknowledge every single moment of it, because it's all a part of the pathway that guided us here. And when we get into the knowledge, we truly understand how real it is, and how, you know, how we taught it from the very beginning, and to be able to connect to the Ka and the consciousness that exists outside of the physical body, and the ancestors that are with us. So, you know, it becomes even more real the more you study and dig. When you're just in a space like how you were, when you just go through things and you don't really have any knowledge on what it is, but you just have the experience, and that becomes the knowledge initially. And so now to be in and to study writings and a whole cultures of just thousands and thousands of people for so long, speaking in detail about what one has experienced prior with having no knowledge of it, makes it more real than anyone can say that it's not. So it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, 2 off for that. Everyone make sure that you are supporting the House of Aten. The links are pinned to the top. Support this reading, and 2 off for the ones who have, and I'll show those very shortly here in just a moment. Yeah, was you gonna speak, ATEF? Or I heard someone come off mute.
I was gonna say,
okay,
Niniuk and Tua as well for your words. And I would, we need to find out how to make those false flag classes happen with Saba, because I'm really interested in those, especially because ANTU and I, we live in one of the cities where one of them happened, like a big one after the George Floyd thing. And it caused a whole bunch of different stuff. I'll tell you where we live, but I won't say the person just in case, but we live in Kenosha.
I know. I knew when you said that. I'm already know.
So I mean, I watched that video. There's some weird stuff, but I would love to hear that one as well, because it's so interesting how they can do something and it doesn't seem what it seems, and then so much stuff happens after that. Like a lot of stuff happened here. There was a lot of stuff burned down, all that stuff. What's up, Minty?
What's up?
What's up, Minty? Let's try again. Can you hear us?
You're on mute. Now you're off.
No, we can't hear you.
No.
It's a bad connection. We appreciate your support. We know you trying, Minty. We definitely appreciate your support and feel your feel your energy.
Yes. Yeah, I know that.
Never unk. Everything is beautiful in life.
We're gonna represent for you. You here. You hear
Yeah.
your tones are here and they're being felt.
You did
Definitely. You know, we definitely see, this is what I'm talking about. Everybody in the chat and everybody that pays attention. The support is real. You know, the great sister is trying to support, and she's having technical difficulties, but it's the energy, it's the thought that counts. It's the energy that we bring forth here, that support and supporting each other. And it's that same support that led to this brother coming up on the panel and being able to share this beautiful reading of our ancestors with us. So this is what we're talking about when we're talking about building a nation and what each individual has to bring forth. So for me as well, I definitely appreciate everyone's support as well, because I had no idea that I would be up on a panel and my teacher would be Tehuti and I would be guided by the Netter, and I am a Netter, and Enuma Elish and Anunnaki. It's so beautiful, because even in my journey, I remember vividly when I first heard the term Anunnaki, and this brother walked up to me at my job and he asked me had I had ever heard of I think it was the 12th Planet. That's the name of the book by Zachariah Stitchin. And he said, and he began to talk to me about the Anunnaki and tell me different things that he different things that, you know, he wanted to show me. I had no idea. I had never heard of it. I had never heard of them. And then I heard a rapper say it not too long after that. He came out with he was rapping and he mentioned that, and it made me, I was like, oh snap, what is, it made me look into it. You know, the same way that rap music early on caused us to, you know, search and look different things. Minty, you want to try again? This a different device?
Yes, can I be heard now?
Yes, there we go.
All right.
Yes.
What's up? Yes.
Yes. There go the great sister.
Nev for Unk. Everything is beautiful in life.
Welcome, Minty HOTEP, to the panel. Welcome,
Thank you too. Yes, I came in on my phone this time. The StreamYard drains my battery on my phone, so I was trying to conserve it. But I think at this point, I just needed to power through and get on here to tell Brother Anu that was such a beautiful presentation. I totally learned a lot of things new, and I appreciate you coming forth with the knowledge that you have. One of the things that I wanted to add on to what you Nefer beings were building on is that, like Brother ATEF says, you put your boat in the water where it's at. So I believe that by you following the calling of, this is something that called out to you, and then you just followed it, and then it just flows so naturally. And then by doing that, you're exposing people to things that they've never been exposed. Like me, I haven't really been exposed to any of these teachings. So I have gratitude for that, and I appreciate it.
And thank you all very much for your appreciation. It's very much appreciated.
And
we got a little Ampu in the back.
and now my audio is not letting me hear anything. So I'm sure whatever you said was very beautiful.
We can hear you. We can hear you, sister. We heard the dog. We heard you.
This Matrix is crazy.
We got you, Minty. We heard you.
You heard me? Okay,
we can hear you well.
I didn't hear what was said afterwards.
He
after
thanked
I
you.
spoke.
He
Okay.
thanked you for your beautiful words.
Okay.
Yeah, you all very much. Niniuk, and I'm very appreciative of your words. I will definitely come on and do more readings.
Definitely. We encourage you. We encourage all our members to bring forth something, a reading, something, just, what you're learning. Let's, I'm a baby, I'm an embryo. So let's learn together. Everyone's not at the same place where the goal is to rise like the Aku, and we're all at different stages, and we all bring forth something different. We all have different talents. We're all, just a part of the beautiful growth that's taking place. So this is our nation. This is our nation that we're building. So whatever you bring forth, if your intention and your energy is in the right place and you're on the right frequency, then it will be accepted. On that frequency. Go ahead, sister.
And that's the beauty about it. Okay, got it. And that's the beauty about it. We're not all on the same place of growth, and that's where the opportunity is for us to learn from others.
Absolutely, and to teach, learn from others, and teach, and be comfortable where you're at. I'm comfortable with being a baby. I'm at zero. It's so much I don't know, and I'm okay with that because I want to know. And you can't know something you already know. So if you already know that Easter bunnies lay eggs, then it's nothing I can tell you about all set, right? You already know about Easter. So, for me, I don't know anything. I want to learn, and I take every opportunity in every situation to learn and grow, because that's my goal. That's what I want to do. I want to grow. And that's a decision, a personal decision that we all have to make within ourselves, within our ka. But we have to purify ourselves and be in these pure states and listen to these different nudges and inspirations and guidance when it comes, because the guidance is there when it comes. It's there, but it's up to us to be receptive to it. A lot of us are not receptive to it, but we're receptive to Spider-Man, Batman. We're receptive to all of that. but we're not receptive to our own identity, to our own superhero stories, you know, to our own great stories of our ancestors. We're not receptive to that, but we're receptive to, you know, you wouldn't like me when I'm mad. All the different sayings and comic books and these different stories, we're receptive to that because that's the energy that we're imbued with most of the time, because we all live in this matrix, and it's a challenge to shake it because it's from every angle. It's everywhere, and it is a challenge. And unless we support each other and align ourselves with a certain frequency, whatever that frequency is, whatever it is that, whatever your frequency is that you choose to align with, then, you know, do that. Us over here, we align with the frequency of Maat. So, you know, for us, it's about growth and elevation and truth and balance and investigation and rising and all of these different things. So, you know, again, Anu, for that great presentation, great reading, you know, for sharing your tones, your energy, and your mate right there supporting you. This is what it's about, you know. This is what we do. We lead by example and demonstration. You know, we have guests on the panel that this is a compliment. Like, this is a beautiful gift, my brother, that you brought forth for us and for the people. You know, we just have to acknowledge that. You know, it's very easy to come on the panel and insult and disrespect and destroy. That's very easy to do. Very easy to do as a people, as a collective, as an energy. And when you look around, that's the prevalent energy that's out there. At least that's what it seems as if. We know that that's not true, but it seems as if the prevalent energy is destructive. And it is, because that's the frequency that most people are aligned with. They're aligned with that frequency that is destructive to them, participating in the rituals that are not beneficial, and the food and just everything. You know, I'm not going to sound preachy, but I'm just saying what I'm saying to just encourage everyone out there to do what we all did, to do what Anu is doing, to do what ANTU is doing, to come forth. Don't be afraid to come to the panel, to do what Minty HOTEP is doing. She's showing her artwork.
Did you see how much struggle it was for me to just be sitting here with you guys?
Yes, but this is the thing, though. This is the beautiful thing, Minty. We'll struggle to we'll struggle to go buy cigarettes. We'll struggle to go, whatever it is that we were participating in that was detrimental to us, we'll take those steps. You know, we'll struggle to go participate in the ISFAT, you know, but the challenge to rise and to be better and to do something productive is that's difficult. So we appreciate that. And that's what I was pointing out to the
that
people
was
in
my
the chat.
point.
You know, is that it's not always going to be easy and challenging, but it's always worth it, because this is what we're doing. We're building a nation, and this is our nation, you know. And you see what's going on out there. You see the other chats. It's all disrespectful. I can't do it no more. I'm like Saba said, I'm allergic to the ISFAT, so I don't want to be around that energy at all no more. And it's a little scary at first because it feels lonely. You know, you feel like a weirdo, because these are the matrixy terms that they attach to the way that some of us move and the way that some of us behave. But in reality, it's Ma'at. In reality, the way that we behave and what we're doing and what we're at least trying to achieve and accomplish is all based on the foundation of Ma'at. We're trying to be better. We're trying to rise. We're trying to do better. We're trying to say better, speak better. You know, like I always point out, when I heard Tehuti speak, I was like, oh, I have to change the way I speak. And I'm growing and I'm learning and I'm finding my voice and I'm finding my talent. I'm finding out who I am and my purpose and all of those beautiful things, thanks to the guidance of our great teacher. You know, I can't thank Saba enough for all he's done for me personally and for us collectively, because I see the work. You know, I see what it's done for me and my family, my children, just in ways that I could never thank him enough. I could never explain to him Words don't words don't do it justice, especially English. It's just not adequate enough. But you know, what he has done for us is just is definitely to be celebrated. So we celebrate you, great brother, and you sitting next to your mate. This is what it's about: biological imperative, family. That was a beautiful thing that I noticed early on. You know, when he was showing the pictures of Asar and men and all of these different things. It, you know, it looked strange at first, but the point of the matter was biological imperative. Like, our biological imperative is under attack. And it's important that we protect that. It's important that we protect family. It's important that we protect each other and that we support each other, you know, because we're doing the opposite of what we're supposed to be doing. We're destroying each other when you look around and you see what's going on. So over here at the Aten, we move different. You know, the Natiru exists. And you were right, Anu, because that was the same conclusion I drew, where I was like, oh, he is Tehuti. Oh, that's Tehuti that is Tehuti. That energy, that is Tehuti. And I couldn't even really explain it at that time, but I knew something wasn't right. Go ahead.
What is this dark realm that you were speaking about?
There's this place. It's like it's this place that's all dark. You feel like you are the place, and the best way I can describe it is, it feels like everything in existence is put in like a grain of sand, and you can speak and ask questions, and stuff will speak back to you. So what happened was, one time I was laying down and I went to, at that time I called it sleep, but I went to rest and I woke up. I thought I woke up, but I was like, why? I thought I woke up here, but I was like, why is it so dark? And why does it feel like there's so many people next to me? And out of nowhere, all these people just start talking to me out of nowhere. And right away I realized, whoa, I think that I'm somewhere where I can talk to other people. And I could see the people sleeping in their bed that I was talking to, and they didn't know they were talking to me. So at that time, my mind was a little more immature. So I started to ask like government officials about aliens and stuff like that. That's the best thing I could think of. So, but I remember I was like,
You could have asked the aliens about the aliens.
Right, I didn't even think about that. But I remember I was like, whoever's in charge of all the alien stuff going on, tell me all the information about it. Like, what's real, what's not real. And this one dude who sounded like a straight Tomahawk just started speaking. I could see him like in his bed in California somewhere, laying there. And then while he's speaking, some other dude who's in like New Hampshire cuts him off, and he's like, no, you can't tell him all that stuff. I'm just,
right. Maybe this is an offline conversation that we're having right now.
maybe. But it's just it's a realm where it seems like everything is. I'll say that. I've gone there 3 times, different experiences.
That's a gift.
Oh, we just got a false flag class real quick.
I know it does.
Yeah, I've been to similar realms recently, and that kind of resemble what you're describing. It's interesting. And Saba was there.
That's one of the reasons why I knew Sabatudi was the most legit person, is because when I looked in his eyes, I saw that he was in a place like that. And it was very connecting, very mind-blowing.
Yes, to be in a community like this, it means everything to me, because I feel seen. I feel like there's a lot of aspects that are unseen about me and my path, but in this community, I feel seen and understood, and you don't get that from just regular civilian interactions. So I believe, like I said, I'm just going to repeat what Brother Atef said, you know, just put your boat in the water where you're at. And that's perfect.
Yep, and sail from there. Definitely. We're all at different places and different stages in our evolution and growth. So the only place you can grow from is where you're at right now. That's the only, I can't grow from where Anu is at. Anu can't grow from where I'm at. Anu can't move from where I'm at. I can't move from where he's at. We can support each other and learn from each other and grow, but I can only put the boat in the water where I'm at. And be okay with that. That's the thing that this society teaches us, that it's not, you know, it teaches us, you know, the shortcut, you know, to shortcut everything and to microwave everything, microwave the food, and, you know, the fast way, the, you know,
yeah, there is no, I want to be at this place. I just need to reach this place to do these things. It's like, if you want to reach whatever place you want to reach, put yourself in that place and just go from there.
Yeah, you definitely.
I find that a lot of times people overcomplicate things, and it doesn't have to be that complicated. Just do the thing and then you're it.
Yep, totally. And be okay with that. See, a lot of people not okay with being a baby. You remember growing up in this matrix, you wanted to be grown. I remember being a kid, I wanted to be grown so fast. I wanted to be an adult and move like an adult. And I had no idea about the responsibility that came with that level of existence, you know, because I was at the level of existence of being a child, or wherever I was at, you know, at that time. But I always wanted to be, I wanted to be grown. I wanted to be, you know, bigger than I was, and, you know, more than I was, and that's okay. But you have to be comfortable with where you're at in order to get to where you need to be, in order to get to where you need to go to. So for me, you know, it's a beautiful thing, because starting at the beginning, I get to learn everything. For me, I get to take the necessary steps necessary for me to actually get to that point, instead of faking it. You know, a lot of, you know, they say fake it till you make it, and all these different sayings or whatever. No, just work on what it is that you want to do. Put the work in. You know, you don't have to fake it. Put the work in. Don't fake it. You know, don't fake the work. Put the work in. Take the necessary steps, even if they're baby steps, if they're small steps. Take the necessary steps for yourself. For yourself, take the necessary steps. However, at your pace, at your rate, whatever it is, whatever your circumstances are, you know, don't be afraid to be okay with that and move forward from that point. And it might just be as simple as just turning and facing the direction that you want to go in. You know, first, that might be your first step. Your first step might be taking a step, or taking your second step might be your first step once you come into that realization. It's different for everybody. So, you know, just be supportive of yourself. Love yourself. That was one of the things that I heard today from our great teacher. One of the things that he shared with us, we had a meeting with him, and that was one of the things that he said was, you know, love yourself, you know, in order to be able to love and teach and you know, love the people and share with the people. You know, you have to love yourself. So you have to start with yourself. So thank you, Anu, for coming up on the panel and reading and, you know, sharing your tones and your energy, and your mate sitting there with you. It's just beautiful how we're able to build whatever we're building. You know, the House of Aten is it's definitely a nation, and a nation is composed of various different things. It's not composed of one energy or one type of thing, but the foundation is Maat. That's what's consistent. The foundation being Maat. And be the best at whatever you're gonna do, whatever it is that you are to do. Focus and practice on that, and be your best. And lead with the left, as the great Ani Ptah Aten Tehuti illustrates to us in his Nefer tone. You know, I'll keep talking, guys. Y'all know I'll keep talking. And the daylight saving times got me woozy too. Y'all better cut me off. But yeah,
that
man,
EP,
Go ahead,
That EP is straight fire.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely.
Yeah, I love this conversation because I don't know where I heard this from, but I attribute it back to Maat, and similar to what you say, ATEF is put the boat in where you're at, and then matching that with Saba talks about biological imperative and people's fear of being different. But when we think of all of the Netaru, how so many of them were so different. And I heard somebody talk about styles make fights. And so as you are learning your identity and who you are and having your own individuality and how you do things, if you have a style of fighting that no one else has or no one else has seen, it's harder for them to defend against that style. But if you fight like everybody else fights, then I may have a better chance of defending your style of fight, because I've seen people fight like that all the time. But if I have my own style, and that's what I loved about Saba,
it's predictable.
Where if you're predictable, it's easy for me to chop your head off. And that's what I loved about Saba too, with the snake style and just the way that he taught. That's why he was able to be so victorious, because people hadn't seen anyone teach and debate and battle and live the way that he was doing. I ain't never seen nobody with a magician hat on, with a spider on it, and then with a snake, and then presenting, sharing screen, and sharing the Per Heru. He just has so many aspects to his style. So styles make fights, right? So that is why he has been able to be victorious, because he wasn't afraid to be Tehuti.
Yes.
A lot of people didn't know who Tehuti was, and he brought us Tehuti, and Tehuti got some styles. He got some tricks in his hat. He got some tricks up his sleeve, and he's undefeated.
Yes, you can't be intimidated by your own power. I mean, look at the reading today. Like, what was it? 50 different names. Like that. Look at all of those aspects, and each and every one of those names has multiple aspects. It's incredible.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing, and that is the fear that a lot of people have, especially when you come across information like this. And I've had people tell me this personally, that they're afraid of that power, and I think subconsciously, because it comes with some form of responsibility, because depending on where you're at and what your ka is resonating on, the same thing that you can do a lot of great with, you can do a lot of harm. And sometimes people don't trust themselves enough to be able to allow themselves to flourish into who they're supposed to be. But this is the beautiful thing about having the guidance of the Seba'it, and seeing the Natiru and the Anunnaku go through what they went through, and even through the challenges and the growth through them. We see them in council in real time, reading the stories. We see them learning about how to handle different situations, and we have that guidance, and it teaches us that we will also have to do that too, learn as we go, and just be pure in the walk, and we'll become who we're supposed to be again. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. So I'm very grateful and thankful for each of you, because I always tell people, all the Karu who come in, when you get here, Now is when the challenges really start to raise up, because to be amongst the greats, that's not something that you just that's something that's earned, and there's a lot that comes with that, to be able to build up trust in those type of situations. So challenges will come, and how we deal with those is how when the scales are on balance, that's when the outcome of from that determines where we conclude in the direction that we continue to walk. So stay in the frequency, allow yourself to accept where you're at and be okay with that. Be okay with where you're at, and continue to keep learning, keep reading, keep studying, be aware, be conscious, challenge yourself. And we'll end up exactly where we are right here, because we never gave up. There was a lot of grace. There's a lot of guidance that allows for one to be here, that isn't in your personal control. So that's another aspect that one must take, that builds up gratitude and help to explain what this is, because it's not just me that got me here. Not at all. Because when I was in control, when I thought I was in control, that showed me real quick. No, at any moment, things can change. And so to be here now, aware and conscious, and able to put myself in a position to always be ready at any moment, is it's just a blessing to be a part of that. So it's beautiful. It's never. I love what we're doing. What people are watching us in real time, start from in the beginning of everyone's journey in the pod class, first coming up on the panel. These are monumental historical things that are being established, that 5 years from now, when we look back, we're gonna laugh at ourselves with where we're at, and some of the things that we did and went through, and decisions, and it's just all part of the journey. It's a never thing. So Ma'at means to traverse directly to a place, and that's what we're doing. We have our eyes focused, we have our heads up as we move forward. So there's nothing that's going to trip up the way. We know that there's going to be something. There's something right there, that's right there. I see it. So when it's there, I know how to avoid it, push it out the way, go through it, whatever I need to do. I know it's there. It doesn't surprise me. So with that, it allows one just to move, because they're gonna move out your way. When you know who you are, they move out your way. So Hinu to the great Saba Tehuti for teaching us and leading by example. The Natiru exists. So it's a beautiful thing. And HOTEP to all the supporters. We got some support in, and that I'll show to everyone, so we can venerate everybody who plays a part with the House of Aten in the expansion of this Karu. So we'll start with the wonderful, consistent Sister Angela Gates, who sends in $10 for support.
Peace to Angela Gates, wherever she's at. I didn't see her in class yesterday or today.
Yes, HOTEP to Angela Gates. We definitely appreciate your energy, sister. Very nefer energy, and looking forward to seeing and speaking with you again, hopefully at the next Pathways to Awakening. So yes, Tua for your wonderful support. All right. All right. This next one has a the little picture. Let me just share the tab. Komet Heru Hancock, who sends in $10 with Biggie Smalls looking wild. So to Komet Heru Hancock. Yes, Hotep Henu, Tua for the Meru for the support. You are also a consistent supporter, and we appreciate you appreciating us and representing Kemet in your name and Heru. All right, next we have Nito Campbell, great none fortunate, $9 for peace, everyone. To Nito Campbell, Squano trending in the chat. He has been consistent since the very beginning start of when we were teachings of Maat. I remember Nito Campbell sending in support every class. So this wonderful brother definitely leads by example in the Meru and understanding how important it is to support. And that's the beautiful thing about where we're at now. All one has to do is just appreciate that which they appreciate, and it's a beautiful reciprocity system that aligns itself. And so Nito Campbell is just a wonderful example of that. For consistently, when he misses a class that day, he'll backdate it. And show you that this is the date that I want this support to go towards this class. So we make sure that we see and receive his tua for each class. And that's a beautiful example to lead by, Nito Campbell. So tua. All right, next we have Kiko Jones. This is first time supporting in the House of Aten. He sent in $16. I think this is, in the Discord. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was in the Discord meeting. Hefe, am I correct about that, brothers? Or Minti Hotep, was you there?
Yes, he was, and he's in the chat right now. I think he says, I thought I knew it all with the Black Bible back and forth, but now I'm a baby in the process as well. So yeah, I think that's the same brother. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. To our Hefe, $16 for showing support for the House of Aten. Yes, we appreciate your support. You came in the Discord and seen you join the meeting immediately. And that's what we want to do. Come in, ask questions and see what this is about. And it's a beautiful thing. And we appreciate you. And now becoming a part of the Meru, which is the meta word for supporter, Mer, which also creates the word love and inundation, and then creates the name Meri, which then later is what gives birth to your Christos. So it's a very powerful tone to be a part of, and now you are a part of that, and we appreciate you for that. All right, next we have Caleb Strethlow, who sends in $22 for Henu Anu for the knowledge you provide me, with a black heart. All right, Caleb Strethlow came in on fire, and giving the praises to Anu and Antu for guiding him here, which is a beautiful thing. So Tua for coming in and seeing what Maat is, and wanting to align yourself and your family with it, to allow yourself to grow. And we appreciate, the support that you bring forth, and it's just a wonderful thing. And I love to see when people come in and who are directed here from other members, or and see what's happening and allow themselves the ability to be able to receive it, to again receive the benefit from it. And I definitely see that with you. So Tua and Hinu for supporting the House of Aten. All right, and I think we have one more or two more to show. Yes, two more to show. All right, here we go. We have Cash Peden, Anthony Peden for peace, Hinu Fist, keep up the great work, 727. To Anthony Peden, Cash Peden in the chat. I think he left out. Enjoy the night, fam. I got to get back to work. Hotep Ma'ah. Hotep Ma'ah to you, Tua, for supporting this class. You two have you've been around for a while, and I remember this brother was in the Medu classes, and he would prop his phone up and out there directing traffic in the middle of a Medu class. So it's a beautiful thing, because he didn't allow anything to stop him from being there. So to our Aunt Peden for your support, and we appreciate you. All right, lastly, we have the great Anu and Antu, the readers of the reading tonight. Sends in $20 for Enuma Elish reading. The Netter and the Anunnaki exist.
Let's go.
Just like people that tell you the Egyptians, they're not black. Egypt is in Africa, folks. As long as Egypt is in Africa, then Egyptians are African.
You have no way of life, but you've mastered the earth. You've mastered the shape of the earth, but you look like the shape of the Michelin Man. Tiger Woods, you could have moved your left foot a little bit.
Pizza slicer.
Tiger Woods, you could have moved your left foot a little bit, 2 inches to the right, and the thing if you just moved the little golf head about a 5.5 centimeters, you would have had a perfect hit. You would have Tiger Woods. Just give the guy the golf club, please.
I don't play with pseudos.
To Anu and Antu for everything that you are doing to support the House of Aten, which you all see before you, and because they're doing a lot outside of just sending in support. They're supporting helping to expand the movement too, with Anu now bringing the reading and wanting to do a class, and Antu making all of the Nefer content that she's doing for the social media side. So yes, the support that you all are providing is extremely Nefer and so very much appreciated. And it's a beautiful thing to see the Karu step up in the way that they are to establish themselves. And so Tua for the support here, and for supporting your own class. So Tua.
You're a good brother.
All right. Yes, Hotep Hinu to all the Karu. HOTEP to Minty HOTEP for coming up to the panel and for doing the timestamps for these classes here on Sundays. And so when you come back to these classes and you see the timestamps and you see how it's detailed out as well, it's like it's not just like a long span of time, it's very detailed.
You guys like that?
We love that. We love that.
Tua.
Never Unk. Everything is beautiful in life.
That's a beautiful way to lead by example and showing other people how that should be done as well. And it gives just the more information you have, the more it assists people. So definitely, you can tell you take your time and you're very attentive in putting those together. So we definitely appreciate you for that. Great sister, as well as yes, Nini Ka, and as well as Sherry Ka as well, and she does the timestamps for Tehuti's pod class, and the timestamps help so much, especially with videos and classes so long. There's a lot, and sometimes people may not have all the time to just watch it all the way through, and it's a great thing. So to our two wonderful sisters for taking on that and assisting us with that. So yes.
Can I say something really fast?
Yes.
I just want to say Tua and Henu for allowing me to do the timestamps in the way that I do. I remember at first you gave me an outline of how you would like it, and you allowed me to go in there and do the extra things that I thought would benefit people. So Tua and Henu for you.
Yes, HOTEP. All right. And yes, it's a beautiful thing. Tua for everyone who supports. We got another support in, so let me show this. And for those of you who this may be your first time coming to the House of Aten, houseofaten.org. We have some fire lined up. You all don't realize how difficult it is for me to just not say nothing, because
the suspense is crazy.
Yes, it's very difficult, but it's something that I practice and exercise because I also want people to be more and aligned with action than speaking about doing something. When it's another version of Heka, because a lot of times when you be out there without knowing who is all taking it in, people can utilize that to also work against you. So no one can work against what they don't know. So it's a beautiful Heka'u that I'm just revealing to you all. But yes, I'm very excited, extremely excited to bring forth the next phase of the House of Aten. It's a beautiful thing. So Tua and Henu for everyone who's just been with us from the beginning and who are supporting. And here is support that we have from the wonderful Minty HOTEP, who sends in 222 for Nefer, Meri, Karu.
Nefer Unk. Everything is beautiful in life.
Don't nobody really want no smoke. Speaking of smoke, yo, social media team, I'm loving what I'm seeing, and I really love African drumming. The tones from that does something so spiritual for me, so cool. So Hindu for the post, the Enuma Elish, that is fire. That I love that. I love African drumming. I love it. It's so powerful. So I believe the original tones was definitely with the drums. So
Do you play, Brother Menkhu?
Yeah, I have a djembe. I don't play as much as I used to, but because I'm,
Oh, Pathways to Awakenings.
Oh yeah,
Get out there.
Yeah, me and Nana was trying to arrange African drum and dancing at the last one, I believe, because Sister Sharika was interested in that. So I believe the next one there would definitely be those kind of tones and dancing. Everything's going to be bigger. So
everybody should bring a drum.
Oh man, you know what?
All the crew bring a drum.
Yeah, I think what we may have to do is have because if you can't on a plane, you can't put them underneath. You have to do them as carry on. They'll pop from the pressure. So if we can get some people from LA to bring drums for people who travel that want to play, that would be very nefer. So yeah, Hinu to the social media team. Y'all on fire. Everything is looking so cool.
Which netter are we gonna summon with the drums?
All of them.
Wait. Not all of them. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, all of them. Everybody's invited.
All are welcome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Menkhu Ara's dance moves. I want to see that. I want to see that b-boy bop break dance.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're rusty or not. You may need to get some practice in, but
No, I'm gonna have to get a personal trainer, start doing yoga, lifting weights. Y'all, no, yo. We'll see. I'm not gonna make no promises, but yes, we're gonna have.
Do you do power moves?
We're gonna get free. Oh yeah, I can windmill. I can.
What can you do? Let's write this. What? Go ahead.
Let me preface that I used to be able to do power moves. Yo, I'm up there in age now.
You do air flare?
No, I never learned how to flare.
Flare.
Head spins, windmills, keps. I could do back spins, but yo, once they start doing air flares and all of that stuff, halos, I was like, yo, it may be time for me to retire.
You got 1990s?
Oh no, I'm not crazy like that. I'm not that nice.
All right.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this.
Yes. To our Minti HOTEP for the support. And all the ways that you support as well. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and yeah, we definitely love and appreciate all of the great Karu, all of the great Meru, everyone who plays a part in the House of Aten. Hinu to Nefer Keperet as well for also helping them with a lot of things in the background and on the social side as well. And everyone right now is in some form of training, is in some form of learning new skill sets, and that's the beautiful thing that. And now we're able to all do it and bring it under the umbrella of Maat. That's the most powerful thing. So now it just puts a very powerful responsibility on top of just even the smallest, what seems like the smallest task. We know there is no small tasks. They're all so important because of what we're doing and being able to push this information and help in what Saba Tehuti started. And the job of saving Akus. It's so important. So Tua and Hinu to everyone who plays their part in that, and we appreciate everyone. Okay, so that's all the support that we received in. Let me double check and make sure. Yes. Okay, wonderful. Tua for supporting this class, and Hinu to Anu for reading this, so Nefer, and make sure you all are. I'll post the stream link for the live For Tuesday, I'll put it out there tomorrow, so you all can be prepared, because you're used to us just going on Sunday. So now we have a show Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. That's 6:30 Central time. Tuesday for Anu's class on MARDUK. So it's just a continuation of this reading, and it's going to be very nefer and informative for a lot of you. And yes, it's wonderful. So make sure you all are tuned in for that. And last thing I want to show.
Nice drum, Brother Menkhu.
You put out a drum? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're doing show and tell over there.
Hey. Nice.
So Tuesday, we're starting on Tuesday now?
No, this is, we'll still have our Sunday classes, but this is just a special class that we're bringing forth, that Anu, for, so for the Karu, say Minti Hotep, you wanted to do a class, and you're available on Thursday. We'll set up a time for you to be able to provide your class, because we want you to be able to do that. So for all of the Karu.
Beautiful.
Yes. And I want to give a shout out and Hotep to Primordial Thought 9 as well. Hope everything is okay with you, great brother. And Tuah to you and to your mate as well, Gabby. She's coming up to the panel and supporting, and it's just beautiful to watch sisters just transform in real time. So it's a beautiful thing. So Hotep to the good brother, Primordial Thought 9. All right, and I guess we'll go ahead and close out. If anyone has any closing words to say, we'll go ahead and close out. Minti, we'll start with you. We'll let Minti start.
Great, Tua for that. Hotep and Henu to Saba Tehuti for gathering all of us Nefer beings together to restore the consciousness of Maat. Hotep and Henu to the great Karu of House of Aten for being consistent and being open to receive the Natiru. Hotep and Henu to all of our supporters and everyone in the chat that is consistent and supports our Djed as we walk this path with the Natiru. And I just want to emphasize what I said earlier. Just put your boat in the water wherever you're at. You're perfect. You don't need to know everything. You just need to be open to learn and receive the gifts that Saba Tehuti is putting out there for us to receive. And as long as you're doing that, your Ba will lead you in the direction where you're meant to be. So peace and love, and I look forward to Tuesday's class. I'm so proud of all of us. This is great. I really love that you're taking the steps to inspire other Karu members to come forward, and you made history tonight, Brother Antu. Tuah.
Yes, Tuah, Minti Hotep, for your Nefer words. And I'll go ahead and close out, and then we'll let Menkhu Ara, and then Anu, you can close it out. And then because ATEF will close out with the affirmation. Anu and Antu can close out together. So yes, Tuah Henu to all the great people who are live with us now, who are watching on the playback, who appreciate and stayed with us through the whole 3.5 hours of a live stream of just information, classes, giving each other adoration, speaking about personal experiences, and just building. No isfet, no chaos, no arguing, none of that, just pure light. So Tua for being a part of that and sticking with us through this, and for everyone who's supporting in whatever way that you may be doing that. I'm so grateful and humble, and it really pleases my Eve to see so many people in this frequency, in this consciousness. So Tua Henu, Tua for your attention. Without your attention, this could never exist. Sekim im Arit, Murder Ka'a, Semu Hatu Natiru, Pert in HOTEP. I have obtained the power to do what pleases my Ka. May the hearts of the Natiru lead me. I come forth in peace. Meri.
Hotep and Hinu, peace and love to everyone in the chat. Peace and love to everybody on the panel. Congratulations to you, Anu, for your courage and for a successful share today. I'm looking forward to what is to come in this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful house, the beautiful house of Aten. Salutations to our master teacher, Saba Tehuti, and his Naturts. Come to me, Tehuti, O noble ibis. Come to me and give me counsel to make me skillful in your calling. He who masters it is found fit to hold office. Fate and fortune are to be found with you. Hotep Hinu.
Hotep and Henu to Anu, Tua for stepping up and doing what you've done tonight. You are so powerful. I'm so proud of you. You are shining bright like Ra. Your Ku is pure. You are intelligent. I'm so thankful for you. You are a gift to be in my presence, and it is a gift to learn from you and under you. You are so powerful, Tua, Anu, and Tua to everybody on the panel. All of you truly deeply impact me in so many ways, and I deeply care and love all of you. You are all my family. I appreciate you all so much for your courage and your dedication and your concentration. So Tua and Henu.
The first words.
Tua.
That was so beautiful.
Tua.
Tua to everybody on the panel. Tua to all the supporters. Tua to the chat, all the people listening on the playback. Hedu and Tua to the magnificent Sabutude and Hotep Ra. If it wasn't for him, it wasn't for all of you, then I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be who I am today. Tua to the Netter. Tua to the Anunnaki. I am very appreciative for being able to be in all of your presence. All of you are extremely nefer, unique, and all of you will make history multiple times in your existences. And I am very appreciative and fortunate that for whatever reason I was able to talk about Marduk today. So Tua to Marduk, Tua to all of the beings out there, all of the Ku, Tua to nature and other planets and all the energies out there in existence. For all the people that are thinking about doing a presentation or doing a reading, think about how you are the only person to be able to speak for the beings that are no longer in this realm. And think about what they did while they were here. Think about like the story of Marduk, the things he had to go through, the things the other Anunnaki had to go through, the power he had to harness within himself on behalf of his begetters, his ancestors. That's what we have to do. And if we don't do it, nobody else will. And it doesn't really have to be a thing that brings about fear, because someone should feel honored to be able to be that person to bring that forth, because they have been chosen by that energy to do that. So all of you and everybody listening, whatever you bring forth, You are so special because you have been chosen specifically by something way beyond our comprehension to bring something forth and renew something and create something in a new light, a new era again on this planet. It's absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely for this English language does not do any of it justice. So I am very appreciative to all of you. I'm very appreciative for Sabatuti. I'm very appreciative for the Anunnaki and the Neter, Henu, to all the energies except for the fiends. So to all Uncle Justin.
HOTEP, peace and love. This was great class. The Neteru and the Anunnaki do exist, and just like the times of old, they do work together. They coexist. They support each other, as it should be, as it should be, as it was, as it always has been, as it will continue to be, irregardless of the Isfet energy and the false matrices that they impose on us. So to you again, great brother, for being a guest and coming up here and sharing this beautiful energy and allowing us to just learn from you, brother, and just be a part of this. So we're all growing and learning together. So I just want to say Henu to everyone in the chat, all the supporters, Henu to our great Saba Tehuti, Amen Hotep Ra. Again, your guidance is invaluable, and we're forever in your debt. And this is just a beautiful thing, a beautiful time that we're in right now. And I just encourage everyone, if you're a member, if you're not a member, if you're just tuning in, if you check it out later, I just encourage you to be your best and come support and learn. That's it. Just learn and put the boat in the water where you at. So with that, we'll end. This was a great class. Definitely looking forward to your class on Tuesday. Get a little bit more insight into that. So with that, we will end as we begin with our beautiful affirmation. From today's readings from the Enuma Elish, Tiamat's blood, he bound together and formed bones. He created mankind to live upon the earth, to impose on them service of the gods, so the great gods might rest from their labor. I will put blood together and make bones too. Let me set up primeval man. Man shall be his name. Let me create a primeval man. Unki and Maat, Un-N-S, Nintet or Set and Maat, Men Hepapat and Maat, Her Inhu Qe, Her Iku. I live for Maat. I exist within her. I do not speak in the face of Maat. Every day I advance towards Maat. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. Hotep Maat, peace and love.
Forget that we the real champions around here.
Yeah, we're here, and we're the best. Neb Nefer Unk. Everything is beautiful in life.
Yo, let's go.
Shed. Closed my eyes, then I woke up back in my bed. I could see my room as clear as looking through a lens. See, I thought I was awake, so then I tried to move, but my body shocked me like I was plugged in a socket. I started panicking and scrambling within my mental. I thought I died and now my body, I'm forever locked in. I was screaming, help me, someone help me please. But there wasn't any sound making it through my teeth. I could see movement in motion, shadows gather around me. How could I close my eyes already closed. Eating alkaline at this time, fasting reads so shocking. I was stuck in a paralysis, fear had me froze. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. I finally started waking up and coming back. I was in the opposite of state's effect. That's relaxed, I grabbed my phone and started to do research. Knowledge of what happened, I was in a lack. Insidious, the movie came direct to mind. Every time I've seen this, it was connected to what's not divine. Demons crawling forcefully, holding the body down. Ain't no point in trying to scream, you will not make a sound. Deep within, I knew I made that a reality. The all is mine, I saw it, and so shall it be. I start replacing fear with knowing universe is mental. Talking to my subconscious to wake me up in dreams. Then one day my spirit guides came in so essential. Daylight's astral playing loud in my dream helped to set me free. I'm back in paralysis laying on my couch. But this time I was calm, ready to exit out. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. From what I read, I need to move my arms in front of me. See a rope and pull it, separate and then release. Now I'm out, I see my house is gleaming, I accept it. Looking in the mirror, staring at my car's reflection. I was so ecstatic, flying in every direction. This was months of subconscious reprogramming and redirection. Place my thoughts in my body, wake up, that's what I did. I was reborn from that day so I could start to live.